You're listening to the Gamecasters.
Natalie, Jeff, and Ryan are the Gamecasters, and they do a board game show, inboxes, and nooks and games, and top 5 lists, and sometimes there's fart jokes.
Well, hello and welcome back to the corner of the entertainment world you were warned about by your parents. If you're into some crazy fetish stuff, like urinating in plastic bottles, drawing penises on everything, or boy-girl pizzas, you might also resonate with the Gamecasters. You know, like really fucked up stuff you only hear about in that corner of the entertainment world that you were warned about by your parents? Anyway, I'm your host, Riz. With me is Niz and my good friend, Jizz. It's our 107th episode, which, like a fine cheese, means we're only getting stinkier and moldier with age. But it's like that thing where every time you open the fridge, you smell it, but you just can't quite figure out where it's coming from. And you don't have time to do a deep clean, so you just kind of roll your eyes and make that scrunched up, disgusted face and mutter to yourself, oh, I gotta clean this fridge. That's what it's like for us at this point. We're the moldy cheese you would like to get rid of, but are too lazy to actually find, and I think that's okay with us. So I'm selling my Star Wars Destiny collection. Man, The Last of Us is so good. Have you been watching that show? It is awesome.
Excuse
Man.
me?
Are you? Have you sold it? Let's
No.
go back.
Okay, we got to go back. Okay.
But yes, I am
So,
watching that.
Natalie
Yes.
feels, and I agree,
of course.
that it's time to sell the only collection of things that bring me any modicum of joy in my life. I just decided on
Been
my
in
own
storage for like 2 years.
that, you know, we need
In his heart, stored in his
more
heart.
space in the storage room of the basement for things like her cricket or boxes of old kids' clothes they don't fit into anymore. And so the first thing we could think of to sell was the vestige of the happiest time in my gaming life I've ever had.
You can sell comic books.
My decision. I decided I don't need stupid rectangles of cardboard with pictures of laser swords on them when we could have that space for old picture frames and empty gift bags.
Yep.
Cards are fine. It's all those dice.
Things are going great over here.
So,
I don't really care about
Let's go back.
anything.
You've sold? Are you?
No, we did. This is our
Selling.
first time hearing of this.
I'm in the post fight phases with Natalie, where I finally have moved to the acceptance
Okay.
stage where
Didn't
I'm selling
you at
my
one
collection.
point put them for sale for like $1 million just to see if they would go?
Yeah.
Wasn't it on a
There's a Facebook group. There's like a
Okay.
Star Wars Destiny to sell Facebook group, and I put them on there for it was like $1,500.
All the cool guys are in there.
Oh, everyone's in there. So, yeah,
I feel like you're not going to be able to sell them.
and you have everything, right?
everything. I have everything
Right, 'cause-
except the last. I think the last set that came out.
Okay, 'cause
Jeremy
it's
had
dead
stopped
now,
playing with
right?
me. That
It's
one is
dead.
dead.
Okay.
There's only 6 total sets. There's 6 or 9. It's some multiple of 3.
Okay.
And yes, I'm excited to get rid of them. It wasn't Natalie's idea; it was my idea. So things are going great there. I mean, I don't really care about anything, and life seems meaningless now. And the only happiness is right
have
before the end of
Maria
sex,
still.
and when I'm eating a boy pizza or sleeping. But I'm completely fine with it.
That's it. The only things that bring me joy anymore.
So what's up with you guys?
I'm watching Last of Us. Let's
Oh
talk
my
about that.
Gosh, that's good.
If you're not
love
watching it, you need to watch it.
You find some way
is
to pirate HBO.
Far beyond like a zombie apocalypse
Yeah.
show, right? I feel like the storytelling is like rich, and I'm invested in the show when I'm
Yeah.
watching it.
Yeah,
It's just so.
It's not
every
just
time I'm
another
just
zombie.
like,
Episode 3 was, whew, it was a good
this last one was great. Was it
Yeah.
5 that
4.
was just on?
4.
Because did you know it was out yesterday?
No.
You know what? I saw. I think Emily. I posted, and I was like,
yes, this last
I'm like,
episode
how
was
is she
amazing.
seeing it? Why is
Yeah,
it?
They
I
moved it
thought
to
she
Friday
was-
so they didn't compete with the Super Bowl. So we're recording on Saturday for
That's
those
right.
of you who
I
aren't
saw
here in the
Emily
basement.
We'll be right back. We gotta watch it.
Yeah,
We'll be right back.
I thought
That episode's great.
Yeah.
Shit.
Oh, dang.
3 was amazing.
We're watching that tomorrow morning.
Yeah, it's been
At
so
least we can watch it in the
good.
daytime now.
Yeah.
I get
Yeah,
Scared.
Natalie cannot watch it at night.
Yeah, well, those clickers are creepy looking.
They're
Yeah,
fucking
they
crazy.
They're creepy.
I'm like grabbing onto Ryan, even though like
yeah.
nothing's
And
happening.
you said,
I'm like,
right? I'm like, here's a handle you can grab.
Yeah,
onto.
grab on this.
handle.
So,
Then you're like, "Ow."
you said Dave played the video game, right?
Yes,
Is he watching the show?
he loves the show.
Has he told you if it seems like, is it following along in the video game, like
so
1-to-1?
They've created some of these characters, right? So in episode 3, you meet that guy who I forget,
Bill.
Ron Swanson. Bill.
Yeah.
You meet Bill.
Yes.
So the character Bill exists in the video game, but just like
Oh, they didn't flesh
he's
him out.
alive in the game. Yeah, he's not fleshed out. You know about his husband, his partner. I don't know what I forget what his name. Tom. No.
Maybe I can't.
You
remember.
know that person exists.
Frank?
Frank. I think you're right. It's Frank. So you know them, but the whole backstory of like how they met, and then the story of
Their life together.
Their life together isn't in the game at all.
So there's no piano scene.
But there's no piano scene, and there is they go to see Bill and like get
Isn't that where they get the truck?
Yes,
Yeah.
right.
So we won't say anything. That's not really a
that's
big
not.
spoiler.
So there are pieces of this character, but then there's like entirely new characters that have been kind of developed. I think the woman that's sort of running in episode 4 is a new character. And they've been working a lot with like the designer of the video game
Right.
Yeah, I saw
about
that.
how to like flesh out these new characters, these storylines to take a video game where you're trying to just like shoot kind of zombie like things, right? And develop it into the show. And I think they're doing an amazing job.
I mean, so far, both of the lead characters, they have really good chemistry.
Yes,
so they
they're
are
so
really,
good.
really, they work really well together, which is the show probably hinges on that.
Yeah.
If you didn't believe one of them, or there's shows you watch, like, okay, so we finished Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Okay.
One thing I will say in that show's critique is we never felt that the two lead characters who are together the entire show went together or cared about each other. It
Yeah.
seemed really disjointed because of the way the show is so goofy.
Yeah.
And Jake Peralta's this goofball. They never really showed well, I thought. Like, they didn't have like a Jim and Pam kind of relationship.
Sure, yeah.
You know what I mean? And so the whole time we were just like, I don't really
the
even believe that they
relationship's
care about each
unbelievable,
other.
yeah.
Right. So it didn't ruin the show or anything, but it was a little thing that
There were certain
we
things
noted
where just
the whole
like,
time.
well, would normally like feel something about this, but I don't because they don't really seem like
Exactly.
they go together.
So in The Last of Us, I'm glad that it seems like you can see their relationship
it's not
going,
a romantic relationship.
Not at all.
Well, yeah.
You can see their relationship
be.
though going from I don't like you
Yeah.
to to kind of, and it's baby steps in the other
Yeah.
direction, and it's
Yeah.
really cool to see that happen so far.
Yeah, that the two of them are amazing at building that relationship over the time of like not knowing any each other at all. To them building this sort of chemistry and caring about each other.
Again, not
through the
sexual.
shows. Yeah,
Yes.
Not sexual, not
but
sexual.
caring about each other. It's more of like a father-daughter relationship.
Yes.
Right.
That
Right.
kind of
A non-sexual father.
gosh.
which should be
We need to
all father-daughter
specify.
relationships.
We need to specify that.
But yeah, as those characters are just growing throughout the first 5 episodes, and it's so good. I have no idea where the show is going. I haven't played the video game,
Yeah,
which kind of
same.
makes me.
I didn't know
I was like,
anything.
maybe we go through the video game, and then I was like, but does that spoil
I'm
the
gonna
show?
wait. I think I might be some nerd will correct me. So correct me, nerds. I think that PlayStation has just like I don't know sold the rights or opened this up because I think it was strictly PlayStation for a long
Yeah.
time, and I think they've opened it up so it might be a PC game soonish or something like that. So maybe I'll try to play it at some point, but I'm gonna wait until the show's over
Yeah.
Okay.
because I want to. You're
You're gonna wait until the entire run of the show is over.
No,
or
I
the
think just the
season?
first season because from my understanding, the first season is the first game.
Oh, and there's only
Um,
2 games, right?
I think there's 2. Is there a third one?
I don't know.
But that's my understanding, and maybe that'll change as they start making things or renew or whatever.
Gosh, that's a good show.
It's
Yeah, it's
very
great.
good. Yeah, it's like
As soon
all
as
I
it
want to
ends,
watch.
Ryan's like, "No, I don't want to wait a week. I just want it to be on again."
Yeah, so the last time I can remember feeling that way, really, there's some big shows that we've been into, like Game of Thrones obviously is a big one. We were into The Walking Dead at the beginning when it was,
Yeah.
you know.
I was very into that show.
And this does give me feelings of The Walking Dead, not necessarily, partly just because it's about kind of zombies. I mean,
Yeah,
they're
it's
not actually zombies,
post-apocalyptic,
but it's
Natalie's
post-apocalyptic. Yeah,
Right.
Natalie loves that. We found out, which is crazy. We also found out that she arranges her cards from right to left, which is like a psychopath.
So straight. That's psychopath.
Which is, I think, in the
Yeah.
post-apocalyptic way that you hold your cards.
Yeah, yep, it
in
is.
the apocalypse,
Yeah.
people are going to start holding their cards from right to
That's
left.
why I'm gonna survive.
That's how you're
Yeah,
going to
that's it. Yeah,
that's the way-
90%
that's the way
chance.
people
I have a
survive.
90% chance to survive. I can survive it.
I have a 10% chance on the right and a 90% on the left
Mm-hmm.
to survive this show. So I wanted to bring attention once again to all the men. First one, Ben. No. Sometimes I get in rhyming loops when I have the poops and I eat all the soups
What?
and hula hoops. Okay.
What?
So a friend of the show, Osgore, is once again
okay.
issuing a challenge for Rare Disease Day, which will take place on the 28th of February. Osgore heads up a German charity supporting families of children born with congenital diaphragmatic hernia. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I'm not sure who the better person is between me, a man in his 40s whining about selling off his collection of dice with Darth Vader on them, or Osgore, a man trying to make the world a better place by supporting charities and doing everything he can for the greater good of mankind. Toss up.
tight. It's
Yeah,
tight.
either way. Anyway, here's how you can get involved in his challenge. Just like last year, he's asking that you take a picture with something board game related and implement the colors of Rare Disease Day, which are blue, green, pink, and purple. post this picture on February the 28th under the hashtag Board Games for Rare Diseases on Instagram or maybe Facebook too. I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
And if you can also tag Osgore and ACHSE_EV. ACHSE_EV. That would be really fantastic. That's like the head of the organization.
Yeah, I'll put it in the Facebook group, and if you have...
Yeah, and he already posted something.
And he posted something in the Discord.
You can reach out to any of our accounts, and we'll tell you what all that stuff is.
So let's all bring awareness to Rare Disease Day by participating in Osgore's challenge. A guy, again, who might not be quite as good as me. A grown man who says pew pew in his underwear 13 times a day.
Yep.
So I spoke a few episodes ago about switching up the show a little bit. And what I meant by that was like adding a new segment in or finding ways to make the show more fun. I got a lot of people reaching out with great ideas. And then one person took it upon themselves to tell me things they just don't like about the show or me personally. Which is not at all what I asked for, but it happened. Whatever. So anyway, what I came up with is an idea I've been kicking around for a few years now. A board game debate segment. Wanted to do a debate segment. What I'm going to do is take anyone who'd be interested in debating about topics that range from goofy stuff like sleeved cards versus unsleeved cards to more controversial topics like the board gaming hobby is more/less inclusive than ever. We'll do it on stream, and the three of us, sometimes the two of us or the one of us, will act as moderators for the debates, and then push them to YouTube, possibly building out the Gamecasters YouTube presence a little bit. I would love for anyone to participate who has any sort of opinion on the topic discussed, which we'll get going probably in the next couple weeks. To get involved, join the Gamecasters Discord. This is not just another pump the Discord, but kind of is.
Sure.
Which you can find a link to from the Gamecasters Instagram homepage. If you don't have Instagram, just send an email to the gamecasterspodcast@gmail.com, and I'll send you a link that way. We're going to get that started in the coming weeks, so be on the lookout. And we have a few other ideas that we'll be rolling out whenever the fuck we feel like it.
It's our show. We do what we want.
So be on the lookout or don't. Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, or just email us about why you hate us.
Yeah,
how
just
we're
tell us why we suck.
Yeah, we suck. We're
Please,
stupid and dumb,
that's
and
what I
all
want.
Our show's dumb.
Constantly. No, I really don't do that. I'm too sensitive. So Jeff, I've been watching a lot of bowling on YouTube. Bowling videos.
That's what you should be doing. I've been watching a lot of people bowl every day at bowling practice.
High schoolers.
Those are the videos I'm watching.
Yeah.
So me and my mom, way back in the day, used to watch bowling together. And
it used to be a morning weekend thing.
Yeah, it was
it's on every day.
awesome. I loved it. There was like Parker Bone III, Walter Ray Williams Jr.
I have never watched bowling in my life.
Have you been bowling?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Okay.
I have been bowling.
Yeah, there's so many great names. Pete Weber. Nobody knows these names.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Nope.
Anyway, so one day, Natalie was on the couch with me. We were watching. And first of all, every single person. So we were watching these back from like the 90s, we'll say. I think they were like in the 90s, right? And it's Walter Ray Williams. No, it's Parker Bone III against Pete Weber. Like, great, classic matchup.
Big names.
There's an audience of people behind them. Like, a fuck ton of people. Literally every single one of them. I think the youngest person was 80.
Yeah.
I'm like, look at all these old birds.
It's not a young man's game, especially back in the 90s.
All he kept saying was old birds over and over.
Wasn't it your old bag of bones?
Like, God, look at these old birds. And she's like, stop saying that.
He's like, there's another old bird.
Look at those old birds.
And I'm like, shut up.
But the guys bowling were probably in their 30s.
Sure.
Yeah, they weren't
Behind
old.
them was like all of their
physical
grandmothers and their
specimens. Of course they're in their 30s.
Yeah, their grandmother's friends. But so on the algorithm, Canadian candlepin bowling came up.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, look, there's this Canadian bowling thing. And Natalie was like, what? There's what? I'm like, Canadian bowling? Have you never heard of Canadian bowling? She's like, no, there's not more than one type of bowling. And I'm like, yeah, it's like a little tiny ball. There's only 5 pins. They have like bumpers around them. And you can throw 3 times to get. And she was like,
my mind was blown.
Disbelief, like, no fucking way.
No, shut up.
And so she's like, turn it on right now, you dumbass.
Oh my God, you make me sound so
and she was
mean.
like, Jesus fucking Christ.
I hate you. And I hate this bowling.
I was like, why are you taking the Lord's name in vain? And she started like drawing like a pentagram sigil. Yeah, and then just talking like this. Like,
oh my God.
what the fuck? You know, it was like the funniest thing ever because she just did not, she was in utter disbelief. It was like when she found out a red panda was an animal. She had never heard of a red panda before.
No.
This was like, Jeff, this was maybe last
Natalie.
summer.
No, it was like 4 years ago.
No, it was not 4 years ago.
Okay, time out. I don't care if it was last summer and 4 years ago when you're 36 is the same fucking thing.
Yeah,
okay?
that's true. I was like, I can't wait to go to the zoo.
I understand you maybe not knowing Canadian bowling because you don't give a fuck about bowling.
Who ever heard of a red panda?
Everyone has heard of a red panda.
I remember we were going to...
Jeff, she didn't know what a mallard duck was.
Shut up. Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Listen, the red panda
I'm calling
thing...
it a loon.
How are you going to survive an apocalypse?
we were going to a birthday party and this kid and Ryan was like, oh, his favorite thing is like Red Panda, and I'm like, oh, is that like a video game thing? And he was like, no, it's like an
So this little boy knew who it was, and he said, who knew what it was? This kid just turning 6 knew what it was.
Well, Natalie, they're at the Detroit Zoo.
Well, then I went to the zoo and I'm like, this is the cutest thing ever.
I'm 32.
Pretty much.
She was older than that.
Oh my!
It was not
no.
4 years
I don't
ago.
care.
It might have been 4 months ago.
The 6-year-old at the birthday party.
No, it was at Oliver's birthday party
Olive Garden.
a while ago.
It was
Anyway.
it was so
The
funny.
bowling thing, I didn't know there was more than one kind of bowling.
That I understand. I forgive you for that.
I was like, why do they have a different kind? And it looks worse.
Do we know which came first?
I don't know.
And do we know why the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
why.
Like, if the Canadian bowling came first, and it was a little ball. Where's the Americans like? Well, you know what? We're gonna make a
it's
giant
not-
one that you put your fingers in.
Because there's different stuff like when you play, NHL hockey and international hockey is almost the same, but like the
Right.
arena's bigger.
Right.
They have a little different rules like pads and stuff like that, but the game is the same. It's a weird difference.
Yeah, because it's the same game.
So it's
You're
like
still
still like
throwing
a
a ball
lane.
down a lane at pins,
Right.
and you're still. I think they score them similarly.
Then one
I
of
don't
them,
know.
they had like strings attached to all the
Yeah,
pins.
the candle pin
They're
bowling.
they're doing that kind of shit in the States too, where all 10 are on. It's dumb and it's
weird.
a bad move. A lot of the pros are like pissed off at it. So some open bowling houses have gotten rid of the machines that basically will rack the pins and just on strings.
Should have seen all the old birds in the
Oh my
background.
God.
Well, yeah, the birds.
There were so many old birds
They're on
back
strings. They're just marionettes. What was it?
there.
I'm a little afraid of puppets.
Remember, he thought the lady was a puppet.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Oh man, Steve Brule is really fucking funny.
Yeah, you should watch it.
So yeah, we've been watching a lot of bowling.
Well,
Well,
not
I have.
really.
Natalie runs.
I
the
watched
Now, you
like
should
a
watch
little
more.
bit and I was like, I'm going to bed.
Now, you
He's
should,
like,
I'll teach you how
I'm
to
gonna
bowl.
keep.
I want you to teach me how to bowl.
Okay.
So I bowled a straight ball my entire life, and for a while I had a pretty decent average. Like my high average was like, I think my average was like 191 was my average for a while, which was
That's
good, right?
good.
But I could never break through. You know what I mean? My high game is only like a 235 or something.
Yeah.
Is my high game. So I could never. I know it's because I don't curve it. I know that's why.
I'll teach you.
I just throw it a million miles an hour, and
I'm
I
not
walk up
very
like
good.
Fred
similar to
Flintstone.
like the in Ghost, right? I'll be behind you.
Yeah.
Please
together.
be behind me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we even have to have a
or
ball?
like
Let's go
it's
bowling
all
right now.
in
Let's just
the
pantomime
hips.
it.
Yeah, we'll go bowling together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love for you to show me how to
I don't
spin
know
it.
the last time have we even ever went bowling together?
Probably.
I don't think
After
so.
We were the Red
Panda
Pandas.
conversation.
That's our team name.
The Red Band.
The Red Pandas. We go Canadian bowling as the
I
Red
have another
Pandas.
random sports thing.
Yeah.
It's like couch sports.
Okay.
I won both of my fantasy football leagues this year.
Whoa.
What? And they're both for money.
Yes.
That's
Because
awesome.
were you not in the Jeremy one this year?
I was, but I don't pay
I don't
attention
think
to that
I
thing,
was in
nor
it.
do I set.
I think I got kicked
You
out.
might have been. I don't know if anybody checks it. So it just kind of exists in the background.
I think I might have got an
don't do
email that
anything
was
to
like,
Well, Jeff
"You've been
won,
fucking
so."
kicked
But
out."
that's
he
not
won-
the one.
he won
that one
two
I don't
money
pay
ones.
attention to. That one I don't care
Oh, that
about.
one's
I've never
so-
even known that existed.
The one that
for
you
the
go
last
to a
3.
live draft.
Yes,
you
that
won
one.
that.
That's
one.
with Corey.
That's the big. Okay,
So
real quick.
Corey
stop,
might be
Stop
listening.
for 1 second.
Yeah.
Corey works at the same
Yes.
bank that Heather and Niv work at.
It's crazy. They've just
Yeah,
now been making these connections. Corey will text me all the time and be like, Niv and I were at your wedding together. We demoed your kitchen together and just are now figuring all this stuff out.
Yeah,
Right.
Heather said that she was talking about Nerdfest and he popped his head out like
Yeah.
Nerdfest.
Nerdfest.
I know Jeff
excuse me,
Madigan.
what that is.
I know Jeff Madigan. I've known Jeff Madigan for 20 years.
So weird. Yeah. So we've Corey, go back to bowling. Call back. We've been bowling our whole lives together, and we were in this football league, and I never win this thing. I've never won it. Last year I came in second, and I was like, that's the closest I'm ever going
Damn,
to be.
you came in second and then first?
know.
Holy shit.
I know.
That's pretty
Roll.
great. What'd you win? How much money?
It's like $400.
No.
Whoa,
shit.
that's
Which is sweet.
awesome.
But his
And-
entry fee was $8,000.
Yeah, it's it goes to a lot of food.
Pretty cool,
throughout the season. Yeah. Well, the trophy is like 3 feet tall.
Shut up.
So I have this giant trophy.
But
It's got Ron
Do you
Burgundy's
keep
head
the
on
trophy for 1
does.
year?
it. Yeah, I get to keep the
okay.
trophy. It
That's
has Ron Burgundy's head on it.
Really?
That's
The
awesome.
Burgundy Cup.
Damn.
And then I won the other one with my friend Nate.
That's how you know the league's been going on for a while.
Yeah, it's been
Ron
going on for a
Burgundy.
long time.
Dang.
This is it's got to be 15 years, something like that. It's been a long time.
We are so fucking old. We're like those old birds in the back of the
It's even longer than
bowling.
that. It might be closer to 20, but
God, we're so
I'm just
old.
shocked that I won.
That's great, man.
won.
Congrats.
I won the money.
You won the money. Well, what about the other league? Is there a league not nearly as...
Well, so the other league, I was actually in the finals with my good friend Nate, and the only reason I'm actually in that league is because of Nate. And We were first
Nate
and
works at
second.
the bank with Corey and Heather and Niv.
We were first and second, so we talked before the match, and we were like, let's figure out a split, because the second place didn't get anything in that league.
Okay.
So we had $200, and we're like, let's just go like 120-80. So we split that. And I was happy with that because I thought I was going to get my ass kicked, and I won.
Damn, dude.
I know. So I got 2 trophies sitting in the game room.
Fuck, everybody wants to fuck you now.
Yeah, it's the greatest.
It's like you're back in high school, except this time
anyone in
Natalie
high school
wants it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Look at my big trophy.
Look at my
You want to
trophy.
see my big trophy in my basement? Come on down here.
Just don't look at, don't contrast and compare it with my penis.
Yeah, so that's it. That's what we
So
got.
if you know anything about me, literally anything at all, you will know I like to pee in plastic bottles in my basement. If you know anything else about me, you know I like to also draw penises on everything I can. If you know anything else about me, you know I love making poop, fart, and sex jokes to make Natalie say my name in an exasperated tone. If you know anything else, though, about me, you know I love making lists describing degenerate things about myself. But if you know anything else about me, you know I love myself a good tea game. Teotihuacan, Tekenu being my favorites among them all. Well, at Gen Con this past year, I was at the Board and Dice booth, buying up one of the few copies of Terracotta Army, because even though it's been 6 months since then and I haven't played it yet, I apparently had to have it right then, taking the experience away from people who likely would have played it immediately, when I noticed a game set up on one of their tables that said New Tea Game by Danielle Tascini and Simone Luciani, called Tiletum, Tiletum.
I call it Tiletum, and Ryan gets mad at me.
I hate it.
Tiletum. That's how
Tiletum.
you.
He's
That's
like-
when you eat the game pieces. They're in your Tiletum.
Tiletum.
Yeah.
In my tongue. In my tongue.
He's like, stop calling it that.
Tiletum.
Tiletum.
I like
Tiletum.
Tiletum the best.
I like Tiletum the
Yeah,
best too.
Tiletum is what it
Tiletum sounds
looks like,
great.
but it's not.
I think it's Tiletum.
From my understanding and from
Tiletum?
Bonds, I think it's Tiletum.
Yeah, I'm not going to believe Bonds. Come
Yeah,
on, who
I-
believes Bonds?
Rarely.
Right, Bonds might be correct. I'm probably going to continue to say Tiletum just because it rolls off my finger tongue, my
sounds
tongue pads.
nicest.
Yeah.
It rolls off my tongue pads.
I'm
going
going
to
to call it Tiletum because I think I'm in programmed now.
I'm going to call it Tiletum. We'll call it all.
All
we'll call
three are
different
being
things.
represented
Right.
by the
Yep.
Gamecasters. Basically, another incomprehensible named game from 2 European designers hellbent on picking names for games that are pronounced differently by every human that attempts to
I
pronounce
know,
them.
right? Teotihuacan.
Like, look at this one. Yeah, you always hear Teotihuacan.
Or Tehuantin.
And honestly, Teotihuacan could be correct.
Probably
know.
is.
But I'm not fucking calling it that because it sounds weird.
Teotihuacan.
I'm calling it Teotihuacan because it sounds better.
Yep. It does.
Tekenu is probably the easiest one to pronounce. Maybe Tavanusi as well. I'm not going to get into that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I saw it set up. The board looked beautiful, and it had that textbook tea game dice of muted yet gorgeous colors. How is it that you see dice in a tea game, and they're like gray, light gray, brown, black, yellow, and you're like, ooh,
Yeah,
those look
careful,
amazing.
careful.
Those are the most beautiful color palettes my eyes have ever seen. Somehow it works. Anyway, I couldn't buy this new tea game, but my interest was piqued. Higher than when I overhear one of my kids saying, uh-oh, low enough that they definitely didn't intend for me to hear them, but they don't realize sound travels, and so I hear it in panic. So I immediately pre-ordered it, twice apparently by mistake, gave one copy to Jeff, jumped for joy,
Thank
and
you.
then played my copy that I got with Natalie. Want to hear about it? Here we go.
Yep.
So from the BGG description, it says, Tiletum, I can't do it. Tiletum is a dice management game in which dice have a dual function, gaining resources and performing actions. A certain number of dice will be rolled each round. On your turn, choose a die to gain the number of resources equal to the value of the die. Then perform the associated action. And the power of that action is inversely proportional to the value of the die. So if you dice are 1 through 6, right? If you take a die of 6, you get an action points of 1, okay? So the fewer resources you gain, the more powerful the actions you take, and vice versa. The goal of the game is to score the most points by using the resources you collected to fulfill contract tiles, or use actions you get to put out buildings and pillars onto the map of Europe. The game lasts 4 rounds, and at the end of each round is a scoring situation in one of these cities. So you need to make sure you have a presence there in order to get those sweet, sweet points. Each player also has a player board that has houses on it, sort of similar to Grand Austria Hotel, with different ascending rows, and you need to put character tiles in them to score more points and get more stuff. The main draw of the game is in selecting these dice, trying to decide between taking lots of resources with a higher value die, but then getting to do much fewer things with your actions versus doing a ton with your action points, but only getting a minimal amount of resources. So, things I like about Tiletum. Like all T games, one of the things the T stands for is timing. Deciding when to take what die in action each round is incredibly crucial. The players are racing for a lot of different things here. There's these special tiles located on each space of the action wheel and all along the map. And they're first come, first serve. And they can be incredibly pivotal in certain situations where you need that little extra boost. Players are also trying to place their buildings and columns out onto the map. And this map movement and building placement mechanism felt very Orleans-ish to me. Each space only has a certain number of spaces, sometimes only one for your houses to go, right? And you need to place houses onto the board as a multiplier for points, as well as participating in the end-of-round fair bonuses in particular cities. So it's very important. Yeah, it felt Orleans-ish to me, because you're moving around, placing your houses, and then a lot of times you place a house, and then your opponent can't now that you have, you know, because
that was a real kick in the ween.
Yeah, that sucks when that happens. That Natalie had some issues with that as well. You also need to get your columns onto the board in cities that have cathedrals to score tons of points for those, and the points get less depending on when you get there. So timing is really everything in this game. Man, do I enjoy the mechanisms of selecting the dice. This caused great tension and stress in the way that I really enjoy. I love games where there are many different decisions and they all feel important and necessary, but you can only choose one. And you need to make the right choice because there's a possibility that your opponent takes the other option you wanted. So you better make sure you pick the right one before it's gone. That was so much fun and really juicy. Like, I really want to take that number 2 die to take that action before Natalie gets there. But I also really need some stone, and there's only one die out there that gives me stone. But it's on an action with 3 other dice. If I take the stone, Natalie's probably going to take the 2 die, meaning I won't get to take that action. But if I take that action, Natalie might take the stone, meaning I won't get any this round. I know that's so great. I love that decision.
Yeah.
And boy, does this game have opportunity for insane turns, which, do I love that in games? Fuck yes. Turns that you do this to get you that, and lets you do this, which gives you that, and then if you trade in 2 gold, you can do this. The action points are so cool in this game. Natalie mentioned this, and I won't steal her thunder too much, but while we were playing, she said she loved that spending resources was like the free part of the game.
Yeah.
In most games, you acquire resources all game and then have to take a specific action to spend them. But in this game, most of your resource spending is just a free action. It's an action to take the contract tile, but then it's free anytime on your turn to spend resources to fulfill it. And that's really cool. Again, I won't say too much more as I've already stolen Natalie's thunder there. The last thing I'll say in its favor that I want to talk about is the simplicity of the rule set. I think this might be the most accessible of all the T games. The learning curve is pretty short, all things considered. You simply choose a die, collect resources on the pips, spend action points inverse to the die number you selected on the action you took the die from. The actions are incredibly simple, mostly just like move, take a tile, place a building, move on a track, place a tile, that sort of thing. So things I didn't like. I really fucking wish there was a player aid for this. It'd be really nice to see, at a glance, all the actions that you could to perform on a given action and how many action points they cost.
Can we talk about this? Can we expand on this?
Yeah.
Make a fucking player aid.
I knew Jeff was going to.
I'm so fucking sick of this. What does it cost you? A half a penny? I will give you a half a penny. If you're a game publisher out there and you don't have a half a penny to make a fucking player aid,
especially if you're not on your board going to have something. Each action had more than one thing you could do on it. And how are you supposed to just memorize it?
And they're kind of simple. Even if it's just an aid to teach you, it's not even on the back of the rule book, which should be an absolute fail-safe.
You have to go into the middle of the book to find it.
That is an absolute joke. If you are making Euro games heavier than a 2.3 on the weight scale, it needs a player aid somewhere.
It totally does.
It can be on the player board. There are so many opportunities in this game to put a player aid somewhere, and they missed all of them.
They did. Weirdly, the one thing that they had, which I thought was funny, was when you take a character tile, it's only one action point. They actually put one. Sure. One.
In every single spot. I'm like, even though they're all one.
That's what they decided to spend their time. Yeah, so I really wish there would have been a player aid here. We were constantly in the rulebook. And like Jeff said, it is simple. What you can do is simple.
Yeah,
Two of the actions are almost exactly identical.
Right.
Yeah.
2 of them are like, okay, you can either move, you can either put out a building, or you can take a tile. But some of them are, there's more than that. And so it just would have been really tight and simple to just be like, instead of going, wait, am I missing one of the things? How many action points does that cost? Yeah, so that got kind of annoying. Again, the rule set is simple. As I spoke about earlier, but in our play, downtime was a huge deal. Like I said, the rule set's simple, but the trade-off with having a lot of great things you can do, because of that timing I talked about, it's important to make sure you take things in a specific order, and that can cause large chunks of time to melt away while you figure that out. Natalie and I are usually decently quick players. We're not the fastest, but we're not the slowest. But I think this game saw some of the longer turns for each of us than ever. The AP can be really high. A few times we were like, what is going on? Make a decision to each other. It happened to both of us several times.
Yeah.
It was fine as the game warranted those decisions and also rewarded the length of time it took. But I don't know that I'd want to be in a game with more than 2 players because of that. I know Jeff has a different perspective that he'll go into in a minute, but for me, it was the downtime was large. It wasn't a function of not knowing the rules. It was just that there were so many great options it locked you up some occasionally, and making the wrong decision can be bad. So you want to spend the time doing it. Like I needed to spend that time, like I talked about. Do I take the 2 or the stone? Which one do I need more? There's only 1 die on the 2, and I know if I don't take it now, he's gonna fucking take it. What am I gonna? Shit! Holy shit! Overall, I really enjoyed this game. During the game, I wasn't so sure, but by the time it was over, I was like, okay, all right, this is actually pretty great. So I'm gonna rank my T games now. I think number 1 for me is still Teotihuacan. Mm-hmm. Number 2 for me, can you guess? Tiletum. Yeah, for sure. Number 3, Tiletum. Yeah, Tiletum is number 3. Then Zulkan, I think is after that. Then Tawantinsuyu. Then Tabanusi is last. We haven't played Trismegistus, which I don't know. It's sometimes considered not a T game, sometimes is. I don't know.
Yeah.
But so Teotihuacan, Tikenu, Tiletum, Zulkan, Tawantinsuyu, Tabanusi. So if you have that scope, I don't think any of these are bad games. We talked about with Tabanusi. I remember Jeff was like, it's still a really good game. But Tabanusi is my least favorite. And so, Jeff, I just went through my my ranking, and I'll say them again. So Teotihuacan is number 1. Tikenu is number 2. Tiletum is number 3. Zulkan is number 4. Tawantinsuyu is number 5. And Tabanusi is number 6. Trismegistus we haven't played. Yeah. And again, I don't know if it's a team anyway. Right. I feel really good about that ranking, and I love these. So right now I owned them all, and we just got rid of a bunch of them because I know that I would, if I want to play one, I'd play the ones I have. But I think we're going to keep Tiletum.
Yeah,
I think we're going to keep it. I liked it that much. Now, what did you think?
So you're keeping your top 3.
Top 3,
Yeah.
yeah.
That could be a good rule. The next one that comes in, if it beats those ones,
if it doesn't beat those ones, or it does.
I think I'm going to keep my top 7 now. 10.
Yeah, I figured you would. Yeah, probably.
That's funny.
All right, what do you think, Natalie?
I also really liked this game. Kind of similar to you. I wasn't sure at first because it took me a little bit to remember all the things you can do for each action. I didn't learn the rules, like you taught it to me. And so you taught it to me, but then I'm playing and I was like, a couple rounds in or a couple turns in, and then I'm like, oh, I need to take this action. I haven't done that yet. Now it's been 20-30 minutes since you explained the rule to me. I forgot all the things that I could do on this action, which again, that's why a player aid would come in handy. So that part for me was slightly frustrating.
Let's talk about a player aid really quick. Make a fucking player aid.
Yeah, I was getting.
Have we talked about this?
Yeah.
If you can have a play rate in your game,
you should.
Yeah,
put it right next to your dual air board, you sons of bitches.
Right.
Yeah, maybe we're a little more aggressive when it comes to play rates.
Listen, I'm happy when I see, I'm not angry when I see a
single
flat
layer
All
player
games
board.
require one, but when they do, have it.
You could put it on. Never mind.
Yeah, I know. There's so many things.
We go clockwise.
Because the actions, you could do different things on them, and then I was even getting a little confused at the beginning. It's probably part of why at the beginning I felt my turns were a little slower because I was like, so wait, on this action I can do this and this and this, but when I do this, is that a free action? Is that the task, or is that part of another action?
Right.
And I was just or even there's 2 pieces that you can move around the map board, and I at the beginning too I got confused. I'm like, well, does this go with the houses or does this go in with the
You know what would have solved that?
would have fixed something like that? Let me tell you right now, would have fixed that.
So it's not like it took me the whole game to figure it out. I eventually figured it out,
But it was unnecessary for you to be confused.
right? But I will say for at least the first round, maybe a little more, I was like, what again? Remind me of this? You know what I mean? But once I figured it out, like you said, I felt like it was pretty simple. The rules were pretty simple, and everything and all the stuff that you could do. It was just I had to memorize it because there's no player aid.
There's no player aid?
Let me tell you something about player aid.
Should you have one? This game doesn't have one, I don't think.
I really liked how the dice worked with the action wheel. The wheel turned each time.
Like an action wheel.
The wheel turned each time, and you use the dice as actions, and the higher dice give you more resources, but you got less actions to take. And so that was like kind of a fun decision thing. Or
I loved
even
that.
like what Ryan said, making decisions. Like there was a situation where there was this one action. I couldn't decide between these two actions. And I'm like, well, I feel like I want to take this one, but I feel like I should take this one because it's on the 6 right now, or the 1 or something, and next time it'll be a 6, so I can get 6 actions now, but next round I'll only get 1 action for that action type. And so I was like, I feel like I want to do this one, but it seems like a better option to do this.
Cool
you know
decision,
what I mean?
right?
So I was like, I don't know what to do. This is what I feel like I should do because I don't want to miss this opportunity. So yeah, stuff like that. It was really fun and interesting. I also really liked how using the resources were free actions. I felt like that was like really different. Like we said, normally you take an action or you go to a space, and then if you want to like build something or fulfill something, it's like an action, and you have to have enough resources to do that when you go there. And this was more just like, oh, as soon as it's your turn and you have the stuff, you just
Boom,
do it
for free.
So like all of the resources, the stuff that you like pay for with them weren't part of like the action wheel, which is kind of crazy.
Right. Like in order to fulfill a contract, you didn't need to take the contract action.
Right. The contract action
just
gave
do
you
it.
contract
You
and
just
did
had it.
other
That's
things,
cool.
but
Yeah,
as soon
I
as
like
you
that a lot.
fulfill it, you could just do it
For free.
or put on your crest. Or
It's funny
do
that
the cathedral.
that's probably action points are not a new thing, but didn't that feel? I was like, this feels different.
You almost feel like,
to me.
am I cheating?
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
And
there's
then you
so
could
many
build a
turns
cathedral
where you're like
Ryan
that.
said
You could
that
build
so
a
many
cathedral for
times.
free, and you could do this, and you just have these like stacked
I'm like,
up
this feels
turns, which is
wrong.
cool.
Yeah, Ryan so many times was like, this feels like you shouldn't be able to do this. you know?
Because there was some turns where I'm like, I just got 50 points.
Yeah,
In
you
this
just get a
one.
Oh,
ton.
yeah.
Well, but then you think about, all right, if we're trying to be like, what happens in the real? If I have the stuff, why can't I just do it now?
Yeah,
Like
It
that's
made
the real
sense.
world. I have the stuff. I have the money for this. Can I
Yeah.
pay for it now? No, you have to take this action to
Right.
specifically pay
Well, it's
for it. No,
also
you
funny
just do
too.
it.
Like each time you're like picking something, you're deciding how many actions you take that turn. Like it's so like normally you're like you get 4 actions to take every turn or whatever.
right.
And this
True.
is like
Sometimes you
I
might
can
get
pick
1.
6 or 1, or I can do 3, and then also have a bunch of free ones too. And it's like it can widely vary, which is kind of cool too. It's not
cool.
just like a straightforward like this is your turn. You do this, this, this.
Right.
So that was really cool. Yeah, and then the other thing that I really liked was that the action chaining part of it. Like there was a few turns where I felt like I did a ton of stuff to the point where Ryan's like, "Are you sure?"
I was like, this turn has been 20 minutes.
I know.
She was standing up over the table like she was like
Well, I didn't-
about
I
to
wanted to make
invade
sure I was doing
Spain,
it all.
you know, like,
Yep.
okay,
No, that's good.
how are we going to do this? And she
it
got
was
so many
nuts,
points
and
out
it was
of
fun.
Yeah.
The disc slut, the disc
slut?
Dicks.
The dick slut.
Whoa.
I know.
My dislikes.
Nice.
My dick
Good for
slut.
you.
I don't know what the heck. These things are.
You're drinking wine.
Oh yeah, we're
Here
only
we
one
go.
game in.
Yeah.
My words are slurring already. These are things. Okay, the things that I disliked are not the game's fault. I feel like they're things that I feel like might even improve the more games we play, but same thing, the downtime felt a little long. I also don't know if it's like we just haven't played like a heavier, longer game in a while, or we're just.
I went to BGG and read a bunch of comments. A ton of people said the same thing.
Okay, yeah. Well, like you said, probably because
Yeah, they were just
I
like,
have some
AP's
thoughts
kind of
on
high.
that, too.
AP's kind of high. with
AP
this
can
game.
be high, but again, maybe more we play, less. I don't know, whatever. And then again, like this is not the game's fault, but for me, it was a little bit stressful at the beginning, trying to figure out. This is like why we didn't think that. We weren't sure at the beginning, like, do I like this game? Like, I wasn't sure yet, but it was because I was like a little bit stressed, figuring out like the best thing to do. Because I'm like, you're like looking at all the stuff, and you're like, okay, if I do this, then I can do this, and this.
Yeah,
and
it
you're like
all
kind of
felt
work
the
it out
same.
in your head, and it was like a little bit stressful. Like, I don't know which one to do. Like, but then it just turned into fun after
Right.
that. So I don't know what that was all about. But when Ryan and I played, it was interesting because in this game we scored. That's right, it was 4 points less. 192 to 194. So we were 2 points different. And I curious. Well,
By
I guess
curious.
we already like know you told us your scores, but like I was like, is that like normal to like be that close, or is
close,
this something
yeah.
that could like vary? Because I felt like we were really close in a lot of.
Well, yeah, if you're
the
close
areas.
there, but one contract could make you win by 20.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's
right.
true.
If it was who
Yep.
won.
I did.
Ryan.
Okay. It was so our scores. I played this game twice, so I played Tiletum twice, and once was 2-player with Devin.
I feel like you're lording the
And-
pronunciation over me.
Yeah,
Like Tiletum.
Tiletum.
I just figured we were all doing different. So
Oh, that's right.
I was
That's
the
right. You're
I was
you're the Tiletum.
What did you
I
think
was-
of Tiletum?
Wait, no, you're supposed to say
No,
Tiletum.
Yeah.
Tiletum.
Say it
Gosh,
again.
I hate
Let's start it
Tiletum
over
so
again.
much.
Start it over.
I know,
Say it
right?
again.
Yeah.
Tiletum.
No, say the whole sentence again.
What do you think about Tiletum?
Well, I played Tiletum twice.
You played Tiletum
And-
twice?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow, I want to play Tiletum
Two plays of
twice.
Toledo.
I played Tiletum with Devin, and then I played a 4-player game on game night. I almost played it a third time.
Wow.
One for each pronunciation.
Yes, yeah.
Let's see which one
I played
feels the best.
Tiletum, and then I played Toletum, and I was gonna play Tiletum, but I
You haven't
didn't
managed to play
I didn't- Yeah,
Tiletum
we
yet?
haven't
Aw,
done.
no
Next
one
time
We
you
haven't
can
played
play
the
Tiletum.
Tiletum yet.
Okay.
Aw.
Right in my tongue.
So, so Devin and I played it on I think like a Friday night or something. We played, and then it was set up. And if the kids were going to go down at a decent time, we were going to play it again,
Damn.
and they didn't.
So she
we
liked
didn't.
it.
Oh, damn.
And then we played on Monday night with the game group. So to answer your scoring question, I was like 210 to 15. Devin was in the 190s when we played, and then when I played with 4 people,
close. Pretty close.
the winner was in the 190s, and then Bill and I were at like the 180, like the corner, like 180.
What was the Luja?
Joe was at 170 or 165 or something.
Okay, so still not a ton of points difference.
No, and to think of like how many points you're getting, it's a small number, right? You
know.
fulfill a contract here or there, you build a something, you get more points in the scoring rounds, and you can get like 40 points in a scoring round, right? It's
Yeah.
like crazy.
You
for
can
what
get,
you
Oh, yeah.
depending on what the multipliers are.
We
Yeah,
got 40
it's
points
crazy.
in one of the scoring
we just
rounds.
both got it, so it was
Yeah.
yeah,
Right,
it was
so
a
it's
wash.
kind of a wash.
Yeah.
But so I think that I liked this game, Tiletum, from like reading the directions. When I felt like I was
Damn.
learning about the dice selection and that balance between action points and resources that I was getting, I was like, this is cool.
Mm-hmm.
They always do cool things with dice in these games.
They
other
do.
Than, other than
Yeah.
Zolkin. Zolkin is the 100% the timing thing, right? There's
Oh yeah, that's that's probably the most obvious
yes.
timing
Right.
game because it's in your face.
But all the other ones have this cool kind of use of just dice or placement, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna like this. So you've said basically everything that I have written down, but those juicy decisions of like what resources, what do I need, but I want more action points. I want 6 resources and 6
I know.
action points. Why can't I have that?
fucking do it.
There's
You
like
can,
points
right?
sometimes like Ryan's like, how do you have so many resources? I'm like, well, I'm taking the high number
Well, I'm
dice.
cheating.
And
Yeah,
he was
and
like,
the
I'm
shit-
not.
In Tiletum,
I'm-
you can cheat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tiletum,
Tiletum,
you
not so
accidentally
much.
cheat. You just don't fucking
Yeah.
know you're cheating. Same with Wildstyle. And in Tiletum, you have to play by the rules.
You have to play by the rules. Okay, and we try to play by the rules, you know.
Yeah.
But then there's this like Joker
try.
action where there's always that juicy like the 3-4.
I must have played the Joker like every
Yeah, and Devin and I didn't play the Joker in our game as much because it started at the like one action point thing. So that then completely changed the game. And
Yeah.
when I play with the 4 people, we use that right away out of the gates. People
So is
were
it just
using the Joker
random where
action.
you start
you can set it wherever you
tile?
want. You get to pick wherever you want to
you
put
can-
it.
Okay.
And then it just rotates.
I just spun it twice, and it was completely different 2 setups. And there's also different tiles that you can put to then put things next to each other that aren't normally next to each other.
You put them on the tongue.
Oh.
Yeah,
right?
and then
Tiles
the,
go on
the
the
tiles
tongue.
go on the tongue part.
Yeah.
And so that I just thought that's for replayability is great. There's then these, which you both mentioned, these couple of turns in this game that you're like, holy shit, look at all this stuff I can do. And I was like, floaner.
Yeah, oh,
Like
yeah.
I had it.
Yeah.
Like I can take the person action, I don't know what the hell it's called, to then allow me to get these people
character.
to add to
think
my
it's just the
player board. And
characters,
as soon
yeah.
as I add it to my player board, I'm allowed to move my wagon one, which then sets up maybe my next turn.
Yep. No, I can
Or
put a
allows
house
me to
there.
get some resources that I had, which maybe build part of the cathedral at the end of my turn. Okay, that's a cool turn. And then the next turn, you're like, oh, I'll take the king action and move up on the track. And then the next one, you're like, oh, I can take this contract, get a bonus tile that no one's taken yet. Use those 2 AP points on the bonus tile to move my wagon to get that tile that I wanted a second ago. And there's just this, your brain just starts cranking these things out. And it's so cool when it all starts to come together.
And you're like, this is the same turn.
Right.
It's the same turn where I'm getting all of this cool stuff.
But it's also not complicated, which
It's
is nice.
not.
Because you're just like, oh, I do this. And then you just look at the stuff and you're like, oh, this lets me do this. This lets me do this. And it's not hard to do.
And it happened,
But it's like
out of your 12 turns, it happened 8 times. And it felt good. And it almost made you feel like when you just took that one action point, you were like, fuck. When your turn was quick, you were like, what did I miss out on?
Must have fucked up.
But you probably had to do that in the moment. You had to
or that was your best option.
continuing to lose points on the king track sucked
yeah.
in a 4-player game. Not as much. If you're like kind of with each other in the 2-player
Right,
game.
we're like,
We
oh,
were.
it's just a wash.
But all of a sudden, if you're back like -8 points, or if you're playing a game where like
plus it's-
Joe is all the way at the 9 and he doesn't have to go back to the beginning.
And it's
If
turn
you're in
order.
the positive,
And now he's first every time.
And now he's first, so he gets to take
Yeah.
that bonus tile that you want. And you're like, shit, in a 4-player game, that matters a lot more.
But you're right. That action is like, you're done.
You're done.
Yeah.
And it's like, no.
And in a 2-player, I think it matters a little less. But at the 4-player game, at some point, you got to take that action. But you feel like, I don't want to take that
Our
action.
last like scoring thing was the king one. And neither of us were like, we're not even
Yeah,
going to
we're
the
like,
spot to
we
do
didn't
it.
even do it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
because if you go to that spot,
then we would have got negative points.
You get negative because you score.
Oh, yeah.
You score it.
Yep, what it
it's
says
negative.
on there.
Yeah.
And I think this variable scoring tiles and the combination of cities. So there's a bunch of these scoring tiles that score different things throughout the game. All the stuff that you normally score points for, you get kind of bigger points in these end rounds. And then they're all over the city, all over this map. So you have to be in the spot, and that is fucking tight. So I think in Devin and my play with the two of us, we scored either we both scored all 4 cities or we scored 3 out of 4.
Yep.
And in our 4-player game, I think all of us scored 2.
Wow.
Because there are some with 1 house. So if
Yeah.
you get there, boom, put a house there, it's like,
Oh, yeah.
you might be the only person scoring that round if I can't take the wagon action or I can't get my wagon to that spot.
Yeah.
That is really tight. So you almost have to give something up. All right, I'm not scoring the houses in the second round. I'm not.
Yeah.
So let me set up for the third and maybe
That happened
fourth
to us
round.
where like Ryan, he took the houses. Okay, so it was like you start at like Tiletum, right?
No,
And
right
then-
at-
No, Tiletum.
No, yeah, you start at,
Oh,
at
yeah.
Tiletum.
I mean,
You started Tiletum.
Toledo. No, you started Toledo.
You started at Tiletum.
I started Toledo.
I started at Tiletum.
Yeah.
You started at
and then
Tiletum.
for like the next 2 things were the next 2 like spots after Tiletum,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then
Well, no,
They-
that's not exactly right. They were 2 away. They were like right
whatever,
next to
they were
Toledo.
really close.
Well, I thought they were right next to Tiletum.
They were right, really close to Tiletum, and then both of them
remember
only had
Tiletum
one
being on
house.
the
I don't remember.
board.
I don't think it was.
Both of
think
them
that's on
only
the
had one house spot, and so I was like, I want to score these, so I can't leave them. And he took the house spot.
I took 'em.
Yep.
And so I couldn't even put
Because
any
you
houses
want to go
out.
somewhere else. You don't want to
Right.
sit there the whole freaking round.
I had to put all my houses out in the last round because I couldn't move my
which
wagon.
are points at the end of the game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I
crazy.
loved that, and we had one scoring that was in London, which only has one path to it.
Yeah, in the
so it's
top
like you have to
left.
go back, and then you're almost backtracking, which feels like shit.
Yeah.
But every decision I felt like was just so flonerific, and it was just so like good.
Did it weirdly remind you of Guild of Merchant Explorers, where you're like, I'm cheating?
Yeah, you just
That's the only other game I've played where I'm like, I don't know, I could be cheating, and you're not, but you think that.
I'm just getting all these points.
I felt that
Yeah.
in Tiletum.
Yeah, we're like, I can do this, right?
I'm like, I think this is all legal.
I
This
know.
seems wrong,
Yeah.
but I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure this is all like it's just going.
There were, I think, a moment in the game with Devin where I was just like, okay, I'm gonna stop. Like, you take your turn. I can do something else, but I think I'm gonna wait and try to figure this out. So a couple downsides. The theme is just one of the most unoriginal, bland. Like, there's nothing
Yeah.
there. You're not gonna feel any theme in this game, and
that
that's
map is just
that
like the
matters to some
blob
people.
flies
It doesn't
map.
matter to me.
I think it looks cool. I like the way it looks.
Really?
I do. I
It
think
literally
it looks
looks
pretty
like
cool.
a plain piece of paper and someone just wrote with a little pencil, like, here's some things.
Yeah, I don't
I don't know,
mind
I like
the
it.
art.
I think
of
the art
it.
looks really cool.
But
I
you're
like
not-
it. I
I
like
don't-
that board a lot.
Some people need to get invested in a theme or like feel like you're doing that. That's not me, but there is nothing original to the
It's
theme of this
tough
game.
too because a lot of the other T games have little more off the beaten track themes for Euros.
Sure.
Right? Like Teotihuacan has got a really cool theme. Zolkin has a cool like
Yeah.
theme.
Yeah.
Tawantinsuyu, Tekenu, they all have like these Incan Mayan
Yeah.
kind of themes. And then Toledo is just like, you're in Europe traveling
Right.
around.
And like there's not also anything like sticking out of the board, right? You have the gears, you have the pyramid, you got the obelisk, Dick and Tekenu, right? This
Yeah.
is just kind of a flat board. But again, theme doesn't it doesn't affect me at all. I don't care.
No, I didn't.
I don't need
I
to
didn't even
feel
think
like
about
I'm
it.
I didn't
delivering
care,
goods
yeah.
or building a cathedral, but some people do.
Especially when
this
the
is
game
a
is
bland
fun.
theme. This is a just
True. Yeah, that's
hey,
a good
we're
point.
just trading and moving things around and building.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
point.
Well, it's kind of like Castle of Burgundy. Like, it's one of the best games ever, and
And I just don't give a shit about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no one
whatever.
cares about the
Yeah.
theme.
Oh, I'm so fucking excited
There's
for that.
randomness and dice rolling,
What?
of course, so some of the actions that you need or want might not come up, but there's ways to mitigate that with paying 2 gold, which is not difficult to get to move things.
Right.
There's the Joker action, so all that kind of helps. The more annoying randomness is maybe the flipping of contract and people tiles. There are times where you could buy a person tile, and then the next one out is literally the same person with a exponentially better action. Like, I pick up the red-hatted lady, and she gives me 1 king action, and then the next red-hatted lady literally flips over and gives me a king and a resource.
Or the crest you need comes out.
Yeah, so
And your
that
opponent also
randomness,
needs it.
right,
It's like,
so
God
that
damn it.
randomness can be annoying. Again, those things are minor in
Yeah.
how it affected my play because I really, really liked this game. But that's some things that can go, well, shit, I just took that red-headed bitch, and now there's a better red-headed bitch next.
It's that kind of randomness, though, I think, where as often as it will happen against you, it'll happen for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
You're not going to get just boned the entire
Yeah.
the whole time. And it's the difference between one extra resource versus not having one, which could be a huge thing, but there's other ways to do everything that you need to do.
Yeah.
So here's my list.
Yeah, let's rank them.
All right.
Oh yeah, I didn't do mine.
Oh, with yours.
Oh.
Do you have it?
Yeah, where do you put Tiletum
Okay.
in your ranking?
I don't have Tiletum in my list at
What
all.
did
Me
you
neither.
do?
I
You have
don't, no,
Tiletum?
I don't either.
Oh,
I have
okay.
Tiletum in mine.
Yeah, I have Tiletum
Did you
in
go
mine.
from the worst to the best?
Nope.
Okay. I put Teotihuacan as number 1, which honestly I don't even know if that's number 1, but
Wow, you got
Good idea, putting it as number 1 if you didn't know it was
well,
number 1.
Yeah.
She
because
shook her
I've,
Number one
shoulders
is
back
Urban
and forth.
Legends.
I've played it the most and I do really like it. Tiletum's number 2.
Wow. Damn, I didn't
It
even
might
play
be
that.
number
Put that on
1
my
if you
list.
played
I
it
didn't even
more,
play that
but
one.
I can't put it at number 1. Then 3 is Takeno, even though I don't really remember it.
Oh, God. Okay, Jeff, just do yours.
Good list.
And then number 4 is Tabanusi, and number 5 is Zolkin, and number 6 is Tomato.
Tell me one thing about Tabanusi. Okay, Jeff, go to your list.
I will go on my list. There's
we don't have it on the
there's, like,
shelf.
boats
It's,
sailing
oh, I
around.
remember.
Oh God.
There's lots of different browns.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna. I knew you were gonna say
the colors.
Natalie. I've never seen her so mad in my life. We played that game out, and she was like, "This is the stupidest fucking game I've ever seen." Okay, my number 1, if we're counting Trismegistus as the
count that.
series, it just seems so out of like that realm
It's just
of like
different.
it has nothing in common with those other games.
Except it starts
the
with a
dice
T
is great, and the manipulation
and the name
of the
is hard
dice
to pronounce.
Yeah.
Exactly, that's probably it. Other than it doesn't have this, straight just Euro theme on it. It has more. But anyway,
But
Trismegistus
Danielle
would be
Tashini's
one.
on it, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other, I think it's just Tashini on there.
Oh, it is? Okay.
I don't know. You might have to look
The
that up.
only one that I think he's not on is Tawantin Suyu. That's just David Terzi, I think.
Okay. So yeah, I guess people might have different definitions. But 1 is Trismegistus, 2 is Zolkin for me, 3 is Tiletum,
Wow.
4 is
I haven't played that one
Teotihuacan.
yet.
Yeah, I know you haven't.
I gotta
And
try
Natalie
that
hasn't
one.
either.
No. Damn, we gotta try that.
4 is Teotihuacan.
Tiletum.
I would think those two could be interchangeable depending on what I've played last. So those are almost
Yeah.
like maybe 3A and 3B.
Teotihuacan and Tiletum.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and then number 5 is Tawantin Suyu, 6 is Takenu, and 7 is Tabanusi.
So it's third for both of us.
Yeah.
It's third for me, too.
Yep. And Tabanusi, yeah, I think Tabanusi is the worst out of the set. Takenu, I might have to play again. That could move up. I like Tawantin Suyu more than you guys did.
Yeah.
I hated it.
I liked it.
I
very-
love that like
I remember it was
meeple action
very
chainy. It was a heavy one.
It was
It was
difficult
heavy.
for me.
That was the
Yeah.
cool thing of the timing of the placing the meeples on it, having them
And
adjacent
every
to certain
turn,
colors.
Natalie was so mad that game. Every turn I took, she threw her water in my face.
I know.
I'm like, I'm
Every
gonna go here.
turn?
She's like, fuck you. I'm like, oh, God, again.
She doesn't
It's a
remember.
lot of wasted water.
She doesn't remember.
No, I
but
drank
yeah,
it
this
all.
is a huge
I threw it in
win
your
for
mouth?
me.
Yeah,
This
you
is,
right in my mouth.
This is a game that will hit the table a lot.
Yeah,
Devin really
it's a good
liked
one.
it. She was going to play it back to back and back to
Yeah,
back nights.
she must
And the
have.
two of us got through it in very quickly.
It's probably part
So
of the
I guess to
reason
talk
she
about
liked
the
it.
AP, which is something that we need to talk about. I will not play this game on a game night with new players. The 4 of us could probably get through it quicker. It's not. I don't think it thrives at 4.
But I mean, when are you going to play this again with them?
Right, we're
You
gonna
know?
play Devin and I will play it often. I think it'll go in the rotation. But the 4 of us could play it quicker. You do get the tightness in the map and the where people houses, but I don't know if if the AP
that was
is
really
worth
added. Yeah.
is
So
worth the
2-player might be
time.
where it's at.
2 and 3, I think would be
And despite the AP, I still think this is the most accessible
yeah.
T game of all of
And
them.
it still wasn't that long.
Yeah, because you're
Right.
like when Natalie's taking
Overall.
her 5-minute turn, you're next always.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in a
right.
two-player
Versus
game.
like when
Right.
Joe's taking his 5-minute turns, I'm still waiting and still don't know what dice I can
Exactly.
pick because 3
Yeah,
other people took
right.
it.
That's why the whole time I was playing this, I was like, "Oh my god! Imagine if there was 3 or 4 people. This would be
Yeah.
excruciating."
And there are moments where like you want to watch other people take their turn because you're like, that was a sweet turn. Like,
Well, also
that
you
was
want to be like,
awesome.
"Oh my god, what are you gonna do? Don't
Yeah.
take my die."
Yeah,
and that's
you're
kind of
like,
fun.
tense.
Or I'm
That's
like,
really
if he
tense.
takes this, I'm going to do this. But if he takes this, I'm going to do this. So I can't decide what to do until he takes it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
it's a big
that's
win.
Tiletum, Tiletum, Tiletum.
Yeah.
Cool.
3 different
All
games.
3 of those games.
Three different
Wow, we
T games
summed
by
up
the same
pretty good.
designer. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Jeff, what have you been playing, man?
Okay, so we've just been playing a game that you've been playing and I've been playing.
Oh yeah,
We've all
okay.
been playing.
I like that game.
We've all.
So I wrote
yeah.
almost nothing down about this game, so let's talk about it.
Oh my gosh, I
Cool.
cannot wait
Okay,
to talk about
so-
it.
Oh, this one.
I'm going
Aw.
to talk about it really quick. So we played a couple games, 2 games right before the show. We're going to talk about this one. We'll talk about the next one on the next episode.
Yep.
So we played a game called Wildstyle from Pandasaurus.
Okay.
I also want to mention Devin and I played Sobek 2-player again. The
Yeah,
Sobek
you
game,
loved that.
with the expansion, the Treasures of the Pharaoh, which I think is a great like mini expansion almost.
Really?
Adds some new tiles to the game. Adds more like corruption, which I think was cool
Ooh.
in this game, where you get like super bonus tiles, but you take this blind corruption tile that could like stick it in you, but you get a sweet tile.
Oh,
it's
fuck
good.
yeah, stick it
so
in.
if you like Sobek 2 players, look into that expansion.
Is it readily available?
Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah, so Pandasaurus Wildstyle. This, first of all, the art in this game on the cover is cool.
It's very cool.
It's graffiti.
Yep.
The game is about tagging cities and being, kind of like sweet hoodlums,
being a
or
little
cool
brat.
guys. Yeah.
Cowabunga.
But it looks like, yeah, this game and Skate Summer came out at Gen Con.
Yep.
And it seems like they
looked
had
very
a
similar.
theme, right? They were
Yeah.
kind of this. Anyway, it was cool. So, Natalie's going to go first, by the way, after I talk about the game. Okay, she has to go first.
Okay.
I'm not even going to say what happened during the game.
Oh,
I'm
damn
gonna
it,
let
it's-
you say what happened.
I kind of want you to say what
Yeah,
happened.
I was gonna
God.
say I'm not.
Okay,
I
so
kinda
I
want
shouldn't
you
say
to.
it.
I'll say.
This is a
But you jump
know,
in.
All right, there's no turns in this game. This is what I want to say first. This is the elevator pitch to this game is that there's no turns. Listen, I got a game with no turns.
Oh, shit.
No turns.
Tell me about
Everything's
it.
happening
Cool.
simultaneously.
Yeah,
Okay, you got a hand of cards. They have symbols that match symbols on the board. You are trying to make sets of 3. You can have 2 sets going at the same time. So you're taking cards from your hand, playing them onto your little board,
Yep.
trying to create sets of 3 symbols. Symbols that match the symbols on the game
What about
board.
the numbers?
No, the numbers don't matter.
Oh.
The numbers are
Why do they
points.
fucking even put them on the
They're
cards?
points later.
Why are the numbers
Why are
economic?
they
Because
even at
maybe
the
you want to
top?
think about like, oh, maybe I need more points for this card.
That makes sense.
That's later.
That makes a lot of sense.
But the
Make them smaller.
symbols are what you need
Interesting.
to play the symbols.
Interesting.
There's 5 or 6 different symbols.
What about the numbers?
The numbers are just their points at the end of the game.
Why
So-
do they even put them on the?
For points at the end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But you match the symbols.
Okay.
So once you have 3 symbols on your player board, you get to put out what they call your tag, which is basically like a giant bingo disc.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? Bingo
they're
disc?
like see-through. They're like
They
colored
look like
but see-through.
They look like tiddlywinks, but like
Yeah.
thick.
like BBC.
Like shoes,
Like BBC tiddlywinks.
juicy tiddlywinks,
Mine was BPC.
because it was purple.
Yeah.
My God.
Mine was yellow.
BYC.
Mine was a BGC.
So so you put them out on the board, but how you're getting these cards is there's draw piles, there's discard piles that you can pick from and add to your set collecting, and you're kind of waiting for other people to go because you're like, well, I need a railroad and I gotta put this railroad out. No one's put a fucking railroad out. Where's the railroad?
my
Over
fucking
there?
railroad?
How can I don't want to put this card.
need
here because
another
I
one.
see Ryan's going for that one. I can't put this over here.
I have a
Maybe I'll
number
put it in
two.
the further away discard piles, but he doesn't see it.
Look, there's
And
two
goes
number twos there.
and you just keep going, okay, until you have you've placed 6 of your discs. So you get 6 discs per round. Once 2 people are out of disc, once everybody except one person's out of disc, or the draw pile runs out, the round ends, and then you do that 3 total times. Okay, so you're ending up hopefully putting out 18 discs.
18
That's the
BBCs.
hope. Or you put out like 9 and you just kind of hope you get them in the right spot.
I'm trying to collect numbers too. A grouping of 2s. Give me number 2s.
Yeah. So then you total up points at the end of the game. There's objectives of like grouping things together, making straight lines, having sets of 3 symbols in the same group. We had to make a big hex, and So you're trying to do objectives. You're trying to put your tag out as many places as you can, and that's kind of the game.
Super simple.
Very simple.
The pull of this game is the simultaneous playing. If it was, if I took a turn, then Ryan took a turn, and Nally took a turn, I'm never playing this game again.
Yeah, it would
just be so boring.
It'd be boring.
Almost.
It'd be boring.
Where I'm like, oh, I get to put it here, and then you put it here. But when you're kind of all racing to do the same thing,
Yeah.
that was fun.
Yeah, really.
I had more fun with this game than I thought. Part of it was because of how Natalie was playing this game.
That was the greatest thing that's
so
happened.
different than the rest of us were playing this game. Natalie, this is even more like I called this game. I called the last game Tiletum. Ryan called it Tiletum. Natalie called it Tiletum. But we played the same game at least.
Same game.
The three of us
Rules
played
were the same.
In this game, Ryan and I played by
Same
a set
game.
of rules, and Natalie played by her own set of rules, which was not the actual rules.
Then instantly realized, oh shit, I'm playing by the guys. I fucked up really.
Yeah.
My first 2 turns, I fucked up. You guys, I caught it. Everything's fine. 5 seconds later, oh, I'm still fucking up.
I still
shit, I'm
didn't
fucking
do
up.
it right.
I'm fucking up. Still.
Where do I? It was.
The more I think about it, the more like an idiot I feel.
Okay, so
Natalie's a smart person.
Natalie's much smarter than me.
She's a smart person and could
But
not get symbol matching.
She had some sort of stroke.
it was
going on.
something
did.
happened. This was pre-wine.
You
My
get
brain.
6 BBCs, or if you're Natalie, 9, 10 BBCs.
Wherever
On your
you
turn,
wanna grab 'em
whatever.
from.
You're supposed to be grouping like symbols, or if you're Natalie, the numbers just need
numbers,
to match.
colors on the cards.
Who cares? Just match the
I have
numbers.
3 cards.
Symbols
I
don't
can
fucking
put
matter.
these wherever I want.
Whatever I want to do is what I want to do. I'm gonna just put these fucking BBCs all over the damn
So
board.
we're
I
not
got like
quite
13.
sure
of them.
that Natalie put any spot in because we're all playing at the same time.
Same time.
I just cheated
don't know.
like the entire time.
Call
Not
yourself-
on
End of the
purpose.
round 1, we look over, and after Natalie's like, "Oh, I messed that up," we're like, "Okay, well,
Yeah.
it's the first round.
It's
let's
first
go."
round, big deal.
And then Ryan and I are both out of discs, and Natalie gets an opportunity to sort of finish
got
a
4
set.
discs
That's great. We look over, she's got a few discs left. Okay, well, she wasn't,
Yeah,
and then I
it's
look
pretty
at the set that she's trying to collect, and it's not a set. It just happens to have both 2s on them, not the same symbol. They just have 2s.
One's like a residential thing, and one's like a
residential
train
and then shopping.
station.
Yeah, okay, well, those are different
Yeah.
symbols.
Jeff's like watching Natalie because Natalie's like furiously trying to
I'm, like,
figure it out.
struggling.
She's like sitting there. Me and Jeff are just watching her patiently. And all of a sudden, Jeff looks at me kind of like,
I'm like, those
he
are
doesn't say anything, and then he like leans his finger over into Natalie's board and then separates the cards
slowly
and
slide
shows
up the
me
one card.
that they are not even close
I'm
to
like,
matching.
those are different.
And she's like, "Oops, I did it! I've done it again!
Whoopsie daisy.
well,
well.
I did it again!
Whoopsie-daisy.
Oh shit!"
I was like, they're like pointed it out, and I was like, oh, I'm doing this wrong. And then I looked at all the sets I previously made, and they're all
wrong.
wrong.
Fucking way
And then that
off.
might have continued into rounds 2 and 3. We're not quite
And then
sure.
Jeff's like, he's like, oh no, you're only supposed to use these discs. You used all all these.
Yeah,
other
why did you take the discs from off the board?
I
She
have
had like
no
8 on her board
fucking
back there.
idea. I'm just like, even the part where I'm like, okay, I have to place this card in a pile that matches a color or a symbol, and I'm standing there like dumbfounded, like what's wrong with me?
It was the funniest fucking
It was
thing.
really
Simplest funny.
It was
game,
just as
and I
funny as it
couldn't do
was
it.
like, what the fuck
What are you
doing?
doing?
Like,
What is
this is the
wrong with you?
simplest
I
game.
felt so
plays game with
stupid.
children.
Yes, it's symbol
It was
matching.
really
What
funny.
the fuck happened to me?
I really
don't
liked
know.
this game.
Yeah.
Apart from the God, if that was video, if that was on video, it would go
we've
viral.
missed an
It would go
opportunity.
fucking that would be the funniest shit in the world. So I
just couldn't do it.
Is it my turn? Are you? Did you?
Sure.
Did you say what you liked?
Yeah,
and stuff?
I'll chime in here and there.
Okay,
with-
I
yeah.
thought this was when Jeff first put this on the table, and he said, "There's no turns. We're playing simultaneous." I mean, that's like my favorite thing
Yeah,
in
that
the
was
world.
cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
When there's no downtime at all, and you're playing the entire game, you don't have to wait at all. That is amazing. What's even better than that, I think, is that it was so simple. It wasn't like I had to memorize a structure where I had to stop the group and be like, I don't want to play something. Like, how do I do this? It was the rules were very, very quick and simple. You're either playing a card to one of your 2 piles, which kind of reminded me of Bonanza, or you're picking a card up, but you can't have more than 3. So you got to, if you have 3 cards and you want to draw another one, you have to discard one of your cards to one of these shared piles, but you have to do that by either the symbol or the color, and so that could get kind of tricky.
And then you're like, well, Jeff's
or,
just going to take that one.
why don't I just do the number?
Why don't I just do whatever I want?
Guys, hold on one second. Let
Why
me
don't I
just
flip my-
explain
why
to
don't I
you.
tell you
Whatever
with
the
my disc
fuck
onto
I
the board?
need.
Can I
That's what I'm
explain
gonna
what
do.
these cards looked like? There's a card, right?
Yeah,
At
you
the
tell us.
top, there's a huge number
Well,
in the
huge.
top
It's huge. It's
left, right?
Like, nope, right in the middle.
Yep, in the middle. And
Okay,
I
whatever.
don't-
In the middle. And
Okay.
then at the bottom, there's a symbol for
Okay.
the type of card it is.
That
So when
one
you're
was big.
holding a hand
Yeah,
of
that one was big.
cards,
And don't-
all you're seeing is the numbers
Why?
and the symbols are
'Cause
If
covered
you're
Yeah.
up.
looking there, if you're only looking at the top for some reason, yes,
Yeah.
for sure. But if you know beforehand when you've looked at
But,
a card and you're like,
when
okay,
you have
here's
cards,
the symbol
that's
that I
when
need to
your
know.
eyes go to the top. Like when you have cards and they
Unless
have
you're looking in the right spot, they do.
Yeah. Cards are
Usually the
different.
rest
Some
is
cards
just
are
like
different.
the rest is just
Yes, if
like
these were playing
artwork.
cards-
You're saying no matter what the card is, your eyes always go to the very top middle, and that's it. Even if you know the information on
Yeah,
the
not
card
the
you
bottom
need.
middle.
It's not the bottom. It's like the whole bottom half is the icon. The entire half of the
man.
card from the equator of the card
Giant.
to the southern.
That should have been
the South
tiny.
Pole.
Nobody needs
It's
to
a
know
giant
that
fucking thing.
to play the game.
There's a little number in the very top
That should
strip.
be on the bottom.
Well, Natalie, the graphic designer, is not happy with
This game was really, really fun. I really enjoyed this
Guys,
game.
this game's too hard. Don't play it.
It's so hard.
Putting the
The
BBCs
weight
on the
is
board
probably
Like
was
one.
really cool because you're doing this to a shared board, okay? So you're frantically trying to play your cards legally or illegally on your player boards. But the thing is you're trying to do it quickly, right? Because if you are caught if your other opponents run out of their BBCs before you're almost fucked. You have like one last ditch chance to try to make something happen. But in the case of Natalie, and this isn't just because you fucked things up. This could actually happen. Jeff and I went quick all 3 rounds. I was out first the first round. Jeff was out first the second round, right? And then in that first round, when we both went out, you had like 3 discs left, or 4 even. You had a lot of. You probably shouldn't have had, but you had like 2 or 3 left, and that's actually a big deal because you only get 6.
Yeah.
So
need
you
to
got
get
to
'em
go
out there.
quick. So what I thought was maybe a little tricky was you also have to keep in mind where you're putting these discs on the board because you have to pay attention to those. The end of game goals.
Mm-hmm.
They basically the goals are ways for you to score points in the shape that you're putting the BBCs on the board.
And not even just
Right.
that, just like what is next to tiles you already have out on the board.
Yeah, because you want to make clusters of them.
Because
but the thing
yeah.
is, you're running into each other. You're running into each other. So we're frantically going quickly, and I'm looking at this space for a railroad, and I'm like, I got to build right there. I don't know that in Jeff's head, he's like, I got to build.
I got to build there too. Yeah.
And so we're not thinking. Neither of us are thinking about that. We're just playing, and then all of a sudden he goes there, and I'm like, oh no, I needed to go there.
Yeah.
But Jeff, wait a minute, I needed that. And then Natalie just like takes his off, throws it away, and puts hers down. She's like,
yeah.
you can do
Yeah,
that.
she ate one. Yeah.
You can do it.
I like that. And after the first round, we were all kind of separate. And then in that middle of the second round is when we started to encroach on each other's turf. And I liked
Yeah,
that. And I was like,
right.
okay,
Get
this is
away from me.
tighter. Because in that last round, there was one spot. I'm like, okay, that spot for me is like 9 points. It gives me another railroad. It gives me 3 in the
And
set.
it was right in my.
And it was between you
was
guys
stuck
were
right
both
in my
there.
craw.
Yeah, I was like, oh, they can
my
both go
God.
there. I need to get into Ryan's craw,
Get right in my crawl.
and I
Climb
need to
right
get
in
in the
there.
craw.
Yeah.
And thankfully, I was able to do that to give me a few points. And then I had a spot that I, kind of
you fucked up Natalie
I
big
messed
time.
Natalie up when I was already there.
Well,
and then Natalie
to be
messed.
fair, Natalie messed Natalie up.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
true.
Let's just go over the score. 60, 57, 34.
Jeff read him out, and he was like, Ryan had 60. I had 57. Natalie had fun and played the
Natalie
game.
had fun and
Sort of
played her version
played
of
the game. Played her.
I didn't really
own
play.
version.
Well, I won't even count it.
Natalie red panded all over the bowling pin.
Natalie, did you have
All over the Canadian
did you
bowling.
have thoughts of the game?
I thought the simultaneous turns was really cool. I mean, I liked it. I don't know what's wrong with me.
I had
Well,
no
there was
I
idea.
don't know
numbers on
what
the card,
happened.
and
I
your
think
eyes
once
just go
once it started, you just couldn't stop yourself.
I know.
It was just
You
the
just kept
funniest
going.
thing
It
was
was
like
stuck.
at the very beginning of the game, you were like, "Oh shit, you know what, guys, I screwed up." And honestly, I wasn't like, "What the hell?" I was like, "Okay, yeah, I
Yeah.
can." Okay, you fucked up, and then you just kept
kept
fucking up.
happening
You
and
didn't
happening.
correct your behavior at all. It was like you were like, "Look."
I
Well, I
think
can
Like
make
you're
it
playing
worse. I
crokinole.
messed up, but
oh,
here,
you
let
gotta
me make it worse.
Oh shit, you guys! I haven't been keeping my butt on the seat the whole time, and then your next turn you stand up and flick.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, you caught yourself. Why didn't you
kept-
correct
well, I feel
yourself?
like maybe part of that too was because of the simultaneous play. Is like
Yeah.
no one's really watching me. Not that I was doing it on purpose, but
she
like,
needs to be watched, man.
but like
cheating.
no one's watching me. Where I'm trying to be quick, and so I just get
Right.
into like, what makes sense
Right,
in my
cheat mode.
brain, and then it was
Yeah.
still wrong.
wow,
It
they
was a
shouldn't have had the
problem.
numbers on the cards. Who puts numbers on cars? I like this game a lot.
Me too. I liked it way more than I thought.
I would
think
play this again.
Yeah,
This
it
was
was
quick.
very
It was
good. Cool.
What, 25 minutes?
That's
like
Maybe.
Yeah.
I explained
that.
it and played probably in 30 total.
Yeah.
It
right
was
in
like-
the G spot.
Yeah, right in the
good-
craw.
the good
Daddy.
spot.
Right in the
What'd you
good
say?
spot.
The G spot. Yeah, right in my craw.
Right in his
You got right in my
craw.
craw. So I just can't stop backing games on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna stop.
I didn't think I had a problem, but it turns out I'm a sucker. A sucker, I tell you. All I do is suck. I suck and I suck and I suck, and Natalie learns a lot about how to suck because I'm a big fat sucker. Anyway, one of those games just finally came in and we got it played, and it's called Rolling Heights by John D. Clare.
I know that guy.
The elevator pitch for this game is you're all building up a city in the 1920s by way of tile laying. Each tile has a certain number of cubes it needs to be completed. You get the cubes by rolling meeples each turn. Yes, you actually roll meeples like dice into a personalized dice meeple rolling tray. If they're standing up on their feet, they're working hard and give you a bunch of cubes. If they're on their side or doing like a acrobatic like head arm
Yep.
angle, they're working, but they're still working, but a bit less hard, and they give you less cubes. If they're laying flat on their back, they're exhausted, or I guess their tile tummy. They're exhausted and they don't do shit. They're lazy bums. You get to re-roll your meeples until at least half of them are not flat on their back, and then you can press your luck. If you decide to stop and not press your luck, you just take cubes based on the color of the meeples that are standing or on their side. If you decide to press your luck, though, you roll all the remaining flat on their back meeples. If at least one of them is now standing, you take it out and you can do that again. But if they all land flat on their back again in a row, you bust, and then you lose half of your standing up meeples because now they're on strike. After that, you take the
makes sense.
cubes you collected. Yeah, because you're like working them extra hard.
Sure.
Is the deal. After that, you take the cubes you collected and put them out onto the tiles you've placed to score points. The game ends when all of one type of cube are gone, and most points at the end of the game wins. Bingo, bango, bongo. Things I liked about this game. This game was much lighter than I thought. And I really enjoyed that about it. There's 4 phases of a turn, and 2 of them can be done while your opponents are taking their turn, which really speeds things up. More simultaneous stuff here. Basically, I can roll my meeples and push my luck and gather cubes for them while you're deciding what to do with your cubes on your turn. We only played a 2-player game, and it took about an hour to get through, which is really nice in a game like this. Usually you don't want games that have lightning quick turns to take 2 hours, as that usually means there isn't enough there to chew on or brain with to make that long playtime worth it.
Where
Right?
you can do everything.
Yes, exactly. And this one, unlike me, felt like a really nice weight to length balance. The component quality and artwork were really nice. Kwanchai Moria did the art, and it looks really nice.
It's obviously good.
Obviously great. The components are a really nice plastic, and all game you're stacking cubes on tiles to make a 3D city. And the cubes stack really nicely, almost like a 1x1 Lego block that's had its vajay pounded one too many times. It's not tight fit, it's like really loose. And that's nice because tearing the game down would be really annoying if you had to break down every one of these cubes. It could be a rough experience if someone knocks one of the buildings over, thinking like, Jeff, what's that game you bought at Gen Con that one year where it's a bunch of like garbage you're stacking together?
Mega City Oceania.
Mega City Oceania.
right.
It's kind of like that, where if the table gets bumped, everything's falling over. And that could kind of be a bummer. As buildings can get quite tall as the game goes on. One building might need like 8 blue cubes stacked up. The cubes are like,
They're little.
they're little, but when you have 8 of them stacked up, it gets pretty tall, right? And like that same tile might have 8 cube and then 6 white cubes and then 4 other white cubes, and it's just one tile. You're stacking lots of little cubes really high up in a very small area. So if something gets knocked over, it could be a bit of a bummer. But I mean, come on, we're all adults, just be careful.
Nothing
Don't
got
fucking do
knocked
it.
over.
Nothing got knocked over in our turn. The gimmick of this game is the meeples. Each turn you're rolling a fistful of meeples, and it's a bit reminiscent of Quacks in that there are a lot of different colors of meeples, and each one does something different. Kind of think of the ingredients that you're pulling out of the bags. A lot of them just give you cubes to use to build the buildings with. But others just give you straight up points. One lets you re-roll all flat lying meeples for free without doing the busting thing. One lets you convert a lying flat meeple to a sideways meeple, or a sideways meeple to a standing up meeple. Each time you build a building, you usually get points and another meeple of a different color. At the beginning of your turn, you can only roll 10 meeples. And by the end of the game, you're going to have several more than that. And so for me, the best fun of this game was in choosing which meeples to roll and which ones to leave out. And it's juicy because they're all good.
Juicy.
All the meeples are good. So what I didn't like, I think the best part of this game for a lot of people is going to be in the rolling of the meeples. But for me, I didn't really like that as much. And here's why. They don't really roll, for one. It's not a satisfying roll like rolling a bunch of dice. It's like I get blue balled when rolling them, and they just land in the box and don't move. Like you roll them, and they just go... Pop.
Sure.
You know, they don't like jumble around. They just kind of go... Pop.
It's like you're dropping them.
Yeah, it's almost like you're dropping them, and they're just like... They just land where they land.
Has,
they don't
pretty
roll
tall
around.
sides, so it's not like you can even like roll them. You just kind of got to throw them.
Yeah, you got to just throw them in there. And
You have to throw them in the box? Could you chuck them across the table or something?
You could probably put them in the table, but then I think they would just go everywhere.
Yeah, that's silly.
Yeah.
So they come with a little button. The box is really small. Also, the meeples aren't as much of a chance result as dice are. Most of the meeples are going to land flat on their back.
Right.
Some will land on their side, and even fewer will land on their feet. And so there are loads of situations where you roll, and they just all land on their back. Now, there's a mechanism in the game that says you keep doing that. You keep rolling until at least half of your meeples are standing up.
And then it's
the push your luck thing comes in.
Yeah.
But so they do that because they know that most of the time when you're rolling, they're going to land. Most of them are going to land flat on their back.
And it's like, why wouldn't I just start with half of them up?
Yeah, and so it's just a little bit. It's not as satisfying. Luckily, like I said, you keep rolling until a certain number are standing up, or on their sides, and usually the majority of them are flat, which is nice because then you get to push your luck mechanism going, which is fun. But it's also frustrating because when you're pushing your luck in something like Quacks, you kind of know you're like, okay, I have a chance. I have a better chance to not die than die. And you're like, and it's fun, right? In this game, when you're pushing your luck, you're kind of like, well, they're probably going to just land on their back, but there's a chance that
but it's
one
not
might
as
stand
punishing
up.
Either.
No, it is. You lose half of your... We kind of fucked up,
played it
remember?
wrong.
You lose
That's
half
right.
of your meeples rounded up back to the... Yeah, they go on strike, exactly. But again, it's frustrating that way because they're mostly going to be bad, and you know that. Sure, you can hope that at least one will land on its feet or its side, but usually pushing your luck is not as tempting in this one because you usually know what's going to happen, and that saps some of the excitement out of it a bit for me. Also, there are building tiles you're buying all game and putting out onto the board. There are 2 lines of them, okay? Each one has like 8 tiles. So there's like a line 1 and a line 2, and there's like a bunch of tiles you can buy. Whenever you pick one of those tiles, you have to then scoot all the rest down and flip a new tile up. And this happens usually every single turn. So there's so much scooting and flipping to do, and it gets kind of irritating after a while. You're like, oh, I bought one at the end, now I got to scoot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tiles, and then flip up a new one, and that happens all the time.
Scoot and flip.
You're the scoot and flip. This game can have wild scoring swings, so you need to be okay with that. There's end-of-game scoring tiles that you all get access to, but man, they can be huge swings of points. And if one person gets one and another person doesn't, it's catastrophic. It can feel bad. For instance, we had one that said, rescore another tile of yours in the city with the most forest tiles. Natalie and I just happened to tie with forest tiles. So we each got to rescore a building. But that building that we each got to rescore was 20 points,
Just happened
which
to be
is
the
by
same.
far the highest per point building in the game. So if Natalie happened to have that and I didn't, then she just gets 20 points and I get nothing. And yikes, that sucks. If you have bad luck rolling and you just don't get the cubes you need, that can also feel really bad as you watch your opponent have the best time while you just can't roll to save your life. And that's basically any game with inherent randomness, so it's not like...
That's not
with the pressure
different.
luck.
Yeah, pressure luck stuff, that happens a lot. Like a game like Quacks, this is screaming for an insert. There are so many cubes, so many different colored meeples. I have like 25 different baggies in the box, making setup and teardown a nightmare. Someone needs to make an insert to this game that would make those 2 things a fucking breeze. Because if it had a Quacks like, BGG kind of thing,
the table more.
yeah, right. Because you just take them out,
You
and
don't
then
want to think that, but it just
does.
True.
If you think in your brain like, I gotta unzip lock
I wanna play
25
Roll
baggies,
I don't want to set it up.
setting that up is annoying. But if it just had little boxes that you just open the lid and then you just go, it would be great. So overall, I think this game is really good. It's fun, it's quick, it looks great, and it has enough decision space to keep you coming back. The randomness and the lack of satisfaction rolling the meeples deludes that a bit for me. But I'm actually looking forward to playing this one again. I think it's good. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy rolling meeples because it's just that doesn't happen. There's not a game out there where you're rolling meeples.
So there was a game a few years ago I played called Quetzal.
I remember Quetzal.
Okay, Quetzal, you roll meeples.
Did you roll meeples in Quetzal?
Yeah, so how they did this is how you rolled it. So you rolled it, and whatever side it was on, because usually it's flat, right?
Yep.
Whatever side it was on determined whether it was like an archaeologist or a something else.
Who it was.
So what type of worker, and then if it was standing up in any way, it was a wild and got something. So like if it was standing fully up, it got an extra coin. If it was on its side, it was wild, but whatever. So instead of having to like press your luck and keep rolling, that determined what type of
Just
worker
what
you
they
had,
do.
which I thought was interesting.
That is interesting. That's more interesting because laying flat on your back is still something. In this game, laying flat on your back is nothing. It's out.
You don't get to
You're
use
done.
it.
Yeah, it's just...
So that was the only game I've ever rolled meeples in. So this would be
Interesting.
cool to do that.
Yeah, and that is an inherently fun thing. So I think people are going to enjoy doing that. For me, I was very let down by it because, again, of the splat. There's no roll. It's just...
I think is there a game called A Fistful of Meeples that you like, roll?
Do you roll in that too?
I think you
maybe
might,
do.
but anyway.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong about this being the...
Natalie, your thoughts. Let's hear it.
Yeah, what do you think?
Okay, so what I liked about this game, I liked the rolling of the meeples. It was not unsatisfying to me. I thought it was fun, and
Wait, you don't get to do it.
yeah, it's
Like,
just
you
cool.
wanna do- like,
and I
you
kind of
wanna pick 'em all up
It
and
just
throw
felt
'em.
different. I kind
Yeah.
of like how it mattered whether they were standing on their side or standing fully up, and you know, usually I don't like randomness that much in games like this, but I don't know, I didn't really mind it. It was kind of just like, let's see what happens. All right, this is what I got to work with. It's kind of like my mentality when I played this game. I also like how you build up your meeple stock and then eventually you can pick and choose which ones to throw, which was really cool because at the end I'm like, okay, this is what I need. I don't need these ones, so I'm not even going to throw those.
Right. Yeah, that was great. I like
So that was like
decision, too.
really cool. And I mean, obviously you still might not get half of what you need, but still, it was fun to do that. And it was fun to like add to your pile and your options. You know, obviously there's an element of push your luck and like, you know, just the rolling of the meeples is luck based, but I don't know. Again, I didn't really mind it. I tried to get a variety of different buildings out. So no matter what I got, hopefully I could do something with whatever I rolled and happened to get standing up. I also kind of liked how simple it was. It was, I mean, the rolling of the meeples part was like a unique part of the game, but the rest of it was pretty simple. Like all you're literally doing is like placing buildings or putting cubes on them, like trying to fulfill them. And then when you fulfill them, you just get more stuff. And then you just, you know, roll, get buildings, fulfill them. You know, it's just that simple, which I kind of like that. And the turns were super fast. I loved how, like, while Ryan's taking his turn, I'm rolling and preparing for my next turn, you know? And so then while I'm taking my turn, he's rolling. And so you're never just, like, sitting there.
I sort of like that and I sort of didn't. And here's
Really?
why. I like that because, yes, I like the simultaneous thing, but I never once got to see what you were doing because I was focused on, I was rolling my dice and my meeples and figuring that out while you were taking your actual turn.
Yeah, that's true. But also, and this is like a 2-player thing. We didn't, like it is in most 2-player games, we didn't get in each other's way at all. In fact, there's like water. There's kind of like almost like on the map, like different like islands with water in between. And like we were on totally separate islands and never like were together ever. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I guess you would definitely be paying attention more if we were like getting in each other's way.
And that that map doesn't shrink, or those things don't shrink.
Yes,
with two players.
it's definitely, it scales with number of players.
Oh, okay,
Yep.
yeah. But like, I mean, I guess the only reason you'd pay attention is to see like, oh, are they gaining on me? Or are they doing something that I need to catch up on or whatever? My dislikes, there wasn't a ton that I disliked. The tediousness of constantly replacing those tiles was pretty annoying.
Scoot and flip.
And then there was this one situation where like I said, we kind of played our own game separately. And so there was this one end game card that Ryan had that basically didn't apply because it had to do with how many like other people's stuff was surrounding your stuff, and like we didn't even go near each other. Yep. So like he couldn't even possibly have gotten any points from that.
Unless you want like, well, you would have to force that.
Yeah, we were so far away from each other at I was like, oh, when you build further away from tiles you've already gotten, I didn't say this, but it costs you.
Okay.
So you can't just put a tile wherever you want.
But if there were two other people, technically you could have been closer to those.
If there were two other people, you'd be that would have happened.
For sure. If there's more than 2 people, you're going to be
in each other's way.
Yeah. It just happened to, because we filled up a lot of the board, just the two of us, just separately. And then, you know, because of the randomness and the push your luck stuff, I could have, so that 20-point tile that I got that gave me like that also fulfilled this like end game thing. I fulfilled that. That was the very last thing I did, and I just barely did it. If that didn't happen to work out, I would have been 40 points less than what I had, which is a lot.
That's what I'm talking about with the wild variable.
And that would have felt really bad.
Yeah, that would have sucked.
So
yeah,
like,
as you
that
watch
kind
me
of stuff
score
could
that
happen.
20-point building that I have again, and you can't.
Yeah. But overall, I really did like this game. It didn't give me that like butterfly excited feeling that like really great games give me, but it's definitely one of those games that I thought was cool and I'd totally play again.
I like the butterfly system.
It's no Tiletum, but
what's that game?
But I
haven't
liked
played
it.
I haven't played either. Can we talk about John D. Clare for a second?
Sure.
Is
Well,
he becoming?
I do declare.
Yeah, like a.
Is he becoming a?
Well, I declare.
Why, John D. Clare?
Well, John declare.
Well, John D. Clare.
That's good. That's good.
So
He's ready, set, bet, right?
yeah,
is he becoming like a name?
I think so.
Let
I
me
mean,
run through some of his games. Can we do this?
Yeah.
First of all, he must work for AEG. I don't know if they like have him under contract.
exclusive thing. Maybe
or
he's
if
like
he,
their resident design man.
Like, does he need to like say like help? Like, is he being trapped by AEG?
He's trying to card craft his way out of them.
Nice.
Oh my god.
Well,
So
I declare.
he's got well. I declare.
Well,
John
I declare.
So he got
Declare.
Space Base.
Oh, he did
ranked
Space
188.
Base? Okay.
Okay.
He's got Cubitos at 422.
Right.
Which I'm not going to play those games.
I think Cubitos is
never
another
played
kind of
those.
push your lucky
Yeah, it's a
kind of
race
thing, right?
race push your luck game.
Oh,
But
okay.
again, people like that game, and
People
I've
do.
talked about it.
Yep.
Space Base is
I don't want
something people that have replaced. What's that game?
I know what
that
you're saying.
replays?
I know what you're going to say.
Machikoro.
Machikoro. Ha,
Damn it.
got it.
Natalie
said
said
it
it
first. Fuck you, Natalie.
So yeah,
Machikoro.
it's
Well, I
replaced that,
declare.
but people like that game, right? Mystic Vale,
like
I
that?
really
Yeah,
liked.
that's good.
Mystic Vale was one of my like newer favorites from like last year. I love that game. Dead
Right.
Reckoning is getting great.
Ah, dang it. I'm kind of bummed that I almost backed the new
It's
one. and I
8.3.
Yeah.
It's 569 ranked on BGG, but that's
I've never
because
played any of
there's
these
not
so
as
far,
much.
but I've heard of all.
didn't.
Ecos-
Custom Heroes you played?
Yeah, Ecos I fucking hated, but that's okay. We'll move on from that one.
Oh, he did that too.
Yeah, Ready Set Bet is a blast.
Yeah.
It's
Good
Custom
one.
Heroes we really
Custom
like.
Heroes
That's a good
love.
Rolling Heights is getting good reviews
good
right
one.
now.
It's good.
So it's like he's
He's making a name for
he's
himself.
doing some things.
He declares.
He declares himself
declares.
a designer. Well,
He's not a nobody.
Designer.
Yeah, what you're saying is he's not a nobody.
He's not.
He's
a nobody.
he's not. He's
And if AEG
definitely
He's a
established
somebody.
himself as a
If
somebody.
AEG ever maybe lets him loose, maybe he can
Declare somewhere else.
declare.
Well, I declare.
Well.
Well. What do you declare, Jeff? You got any more games to declare?
Let's talk about the zoo.
Okay.
Okay. Now you're running the zoo. What's your favorite animal at the zoo? Is it like a red
Well,
panda?
now it's the red panda.
She's never heard of a red panda.
God, well, if you
I also
just
like the
now
penguins.
realize, in your mid 30s that thing exists,
And Canadian bowling.
like wow, like
I don't even remember
Your
that being
eyes
a
have
thing
been
at the
opened.
zoo.
What's next? What is she gonna?
What is
she gonna
next?
realize next? They make bass guitars, different kind of
I
guitars
know.
for regular guitars.
okay, I want to talk about a game called Zoo Vadis.
Okay.
played
No,
this
you mean
game-
Quo Vadis.
No, Quo Vadis. Well, kind of.
Oh.
This game re-implements
A
Quo
new
Vadis
Quo Vadis?
from back in the day from designer Knizia.
Oh, Designer Knizia again. I
Designer
love that that's
Knizia.
catching on with only us.
Just
With
the three of
only
us.
yeah.
Natalie, do you remember this? We played this 2 weeks ago. Okay.
I remember.
So we played this before actually the last podcast. We're like just backlogging games because we play so many.
We do.
So cool.
Look at us go.
So Zoo Vadis is currently on Kickstarter with another game called Gussie Gorillas.
Gussie Gorillas.
Gussie
So you can
Gorillas.
get them together.
You can get them together. You can get them separately. You can
Are they both Designer Knizia?
no. Gussie Gorillas is not.
Okay.
This is from Bitewing Games, which I'm kind of liking what they're doing. It's a new company,
Yeah.
new publisher. They did that Trailblazers game that I talked about a few episodes ago.
Yep. Okay.
So this is their second Kickstarter. So again, you can get Zoo Vadis by itself or Gussie Gorillas or both or whatever. You can get standard editions of both. You can get deluxe editions of both. We played the deluxe edition, so that changes your feelings accordingly.
Okay.
There
was
are,
pretty sweet.
As the day, I know, as today, the recording, there's 5 days left of the Kickstarter. It is already funded, so you would have to jump on this pretty quick. So if your first handful of days downloads, go on, jump on. They might do, what's it when you back it afterwards?
Late pledge?
Late pledges. They might do, I don't really know, but they're already over $100,000 of a $10,000 goal, which is really cool.
Oh wow.
I know, it's
Damn.
So I think that this having Designer Knizia as a name on a newer game that you publish is pretty cool.
Well, and people know Quo Vadis, right?
I think
and this
so.
is kind of a re-implementation, so I'm wondering if people are like, oh man, that game was cool, but you
Yeah.
can't really get it. Let's try this new one.
And this has maybe, in my opinion, a more approachable theme and
Is it a
components.
similar gameplay with a different theme?
Yes. So I did a little bit of research on what the difference is. So
Okay.
I'll maybe get there at the end. So price-wise, $45 for the standard Zoo Vadis, $65 for deluxe, which you played. Could be a little. It could be $69. You can get basically the deluxe of both of them for $83. The two.
And what's the
two
difference
games.
between the deluxe and the non-deluxe?
So in the deluxe of Zoo Vadis, you get wooden tokens for your player power and wooden tokens for the.
All the animals?
The animal?
The animals are all you
They're
get the
always
chunky
chunky?
animals no
Oh,
matter what,
good.
which is great.
That
There's another
is
wooden
great.
token that I'm trying to think about what it was.
to
But you get the nice clay
Oh,
token for the
was
the
it-
points.
The circle ones?
Oh, that's what it is. It's the points are cardboard.
Got it.
So the point tokens are cardboard.
Okay.
So the deluxe of those are cool, but you still get the nice chunky animals.
As long as you
in
get
the
those chunky
standard,
animals,
which is
that,
cool.
that I wouldn't mind having standard.
So Zoo Vadis is a negotiation bribery game. That might turn people off right away, or you might be like, I'm listening.
Ooh, I want to hear more.
Because this is not a game that the three of us maybe gravitate towards at all, or some people just run away from those type of games.
Yeah. I
Where
like
they're like,
negotiation.
I'm not negotiating. No, I don't.
I
I'm going to
declare.
take my turn. I do, John declare.
I declare.
And so this plays 3 to 7, which is also cool. I do know that Quo Vadis only played 3 to 5. So this is a 2-sided board, and you can play, I think it's 5, 6, 7 on the one side, and 3, 4 on the other side. We play at the low player count of 3. So take that for what it's worth, because this game would ramp the F up.
In a lot of ways.
In a lot of ways. So the theme of this game is you are animals trying to make it to the star exhibit, which is the top of the board. Make your way through the zoo to the star exhibit, and you become the zoo mascot. Something like that.
Yep.
Players are taking turns moving into and through the zoo, and the pull of this game, the attraction of the game, is that players can share the same zone of this board, but you must have the majority in that zone in order to move out to another zone. You gather points on these paths. There's like, you can move peacocks around because they just control the zoo. And you are trying to move closer to the star exhibit, because if you do not get an animal in the star exhibit, you cannot win.
Boom. Gugong style.
Yep, that would suck.
Yeah, that
If
would.
you don't have the majority, you have to get the majority. You have to get other people to essentially vote you and say, yes, you can go through. For example, if there's a space with 5 spots in it, you must occupy 3 of them. Even if there's only 2 animals in there, you must occupy all 3, the majority of the spaces, in order to move on. So if I occupy 2, Natalie occupies 1, Ryan occupies 1, and there's a peacock in the other one, I need to get 1 vote, whether it's from Ryan, Natalie, or the peacock. And I do that through negotiating. Negotiate points, future votes, hand jobs, player powers, anything really you can negotiate in this game that makes sense of the game. And hand jobs. Once the star exhibit is full at the top of the board, once you fill it up with animals or peacocks, the game is over. Okay? The rules of this game are simple, straightforward, easy. Move your animal, move it, that's it. You basically are just moving animals.
Right.
Where this game is played is it's played in the trenches, man.
Right in the trenches.
This is different than most games I have ever played.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in Zoo Vadis, you gotta play the game.
Yeah.
If you're not
Yes.
playing this game, you are going to lose.
Yep.
Yes.
You have to negotiate. You have to bribe. You have to be sneaky. You have to try to undermine other people when they're trying to be sneaky.
Yes.
You have to play the game. If you are not going to play the game, don't play the game.
You lose if you don't
You want to play the game? Play the game. Don't play.
Don't not play the
If
game.
you're just going to sit and try to move your pieces from spaces,
That's
you're
not
gonna
playing the
lose.
game.
You're done. So there are...
If anyone else is actually playing the game.
Yeah.
If you're all not playing the game together,
Then it's...
someone will randomly win. I
Yeah,
suppose.
someone randomly... Yeah, if you're all not playing it. But the person that is playing it will win.
That's true.
There are moments in this game that I wanted to happen. I needed it. There were moments where the two of you were like talking, and I was like, Natalie, you should take that deal because that helps me a lot.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Natalie, take that.
Yeah.
Or there are moments where like, no, don't do that. I have a better deal for you. That screws me up big time. Don't do that. So you try to like talk somebody in and out of different deals when it's not even your turn, and I like that.
True.
I think that's cool. Don't do that, Natalie. It's going to ruin my plans.
Yep.
Okay? You need to be paying attention to everyone's turn. You need to be paying attention to everyone's positioning. You need to be paying attention to peacocks.
You do.
Okay? There are moments in this game where Natalie and I could have locked Ryan out of the game.
Yeah.
We talked about it. Ryan took his turn, and it was now Natalie's turn and then my turn. And we figured out a way that Ryan could not win this game because he could not get
To the top.
to the top. So I could be like, Natalie, you'd go here, you take
Put a
my
peacock
power,
there,
boom,
yeah.
and
Now
I
it's
just move
between
in
the
there
two
and
of
it's
us.
over. And Ryan cannot win.
Right.
Natalie didn't do that because she either thought that she didn't have enough points to beat me or nepotism. I don't quite know, but it's one of those
don't think
two.
any-
More is mean.
It's mean, but if you could play the game
we
that
also
way.
No,
were-
you're totally right.
Yeah.
You could play the game that way. Because, like, especially, like, if we were like, oh, Ryan, if he gets up there, if we're all three in there, Ryan's going to win. So let's not let him in there.
Right.
So then he can't win.
Right.
And if I think that in that moment you thought you didn't have more points than me,
Probably.
then the longer the game goes, the more of chances you
Yeah,
have to win.
that's
I was
probably
trying to convince
what
you
it
to
was.
do it because I thought I had more points than you,
Yeah.
but not maybe more than Ryan.
Yeah.
So you could be locked out of winning this game. And I think the game encourages you to at least get one character up to the top or two, because if you're just kind of like piddling down there and just picking up points along the path, you have to race. And it actually ended faster than I thought it was going to end in a good way. I didn't want this negotiation to go for a really, really long time.
Very good point.
And ended quicker than I thought, and I was like, okay, I like that. I think it's solid for exactly what it is. There is not a ton of like flashes. There's not like this amazing, here's more of a pull to it. What it did was it did this negotiation really well, and in a couple points. So one is there's these special powers that everybody gets. So my animal, I don't remember what it was, alligators. I think it was the alligators.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
So
so.
my
the
alligator
rhinos.
has a special power that I control, but I don't get to use. I use it as a bargaining chip to basically sell to one of you.
Yeah, that's so weird.
But I want to get you to use it because I get points when you use my power. And I like that.
But it's also, you're giving
do
them
that.
a pretty
But
good
now
power.
I'm giving them
That's a
cool
pretty good power.
So I have control of one power, but I also now get to use everyone else's power at the table if I can get them to sell it to me. So not only do I control one, I now get what up to
and
be
you never
six
get
other
to use
powers.
the one you
That was like
control.
a brain busting thing.
Right.
Where you
But
were like,
have
here, these
it.
are yours. Look, here's your special power. But guess what? It's not yours. You never get to use this ever.
Right.
It was
It's
like,
so weird.
what?
That
Oh.
was cool to me and unique and different. I know that is also new from Vadis to Vadis. That is new.
Oh, okay.
The production is awesome. These nice chunky wooden animal
Gorgeous.
pieces are so cool, and they all have this like for some reason they fit the negotiation theme to me. They're all like chunky in stature, and like you want to be controlling these spaces. If you don't like mean confrontational games, this is not your game. It will thrive in environments like Matthias plays in, and games
Yeah.
where you just want to play competition. But if you have feelings, this game could hurt your feelings. Will hurt your feelings.
Most likely
Let me
will.
tell you the three biggest differences in the game.
Okay.
Okay.
Just
Quo Vadis
if
and
anybody's
Zoo
played
Vadis.
Quo Vadis, so you kind of know what the difference is. I think this is a more approachable theme, and it's cuter. Right?
What was the Quo Vadis theme?
I think nothing. I don't know. You could look at it's.
What is Quo Vadis?
Yeah, I don't know. But this being zoo, looking nicer, kind of friendlier, doesn't mean that it's nicer on the table, obviously.
Quo Vadis is a Latin phrase that means, where are you going?
Oh, where are you going? We're moving around.
There's the theme. Where
There
you
you
going?
go. Where
Hey,
are you going? So I know that the peacocks are new, and the rules for the peacocks is the peacocks are like free agents. They walk around the board. You can take an action instead of moving your own animals. You can move a peacock, and you can pay that peacock for its vote to move forward. So I don't even have to talk
I
to you.
feel like just
I can move it up.
That has to change the game
It's
so
huge.
much.
And it really changed, I think, our 3-player game and changes a 4-player game where they become a lot more important because I don't even have to necessarily negotiate with Ryan who's winning. Natalie and I can just talk, or I can just pay
Yeah.
this peacock and move forward.
That's how you guys could have ended the game.
Yeah, we
was
moved the
like,
peacock
oh
in,
shit,
I
they
moved
can move
mine
the
in,
peacock in, and
done.
nobody can do it. Do you not have the peacocks in the highest player count?
No, you do.
You still always have
But
them?
I think it maybe has a bigger impact. I think there's maybe, is there a couple more, a couple less? But anyway, I think like there's a bigger impact with 3 people. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. The abilities are new, and then the new value tokens along the paths are new. Instead of just, I think they're all straight 2 points.
Oh, okay.
When you go cross paths, insteed of valuing these paths
Right.
from spot to spot, which I also liked There were moments where
Like that too.
it was a 3-point thing, and I was like, I'll let Ryan go.
Yeah.
Because we had times where I negotiated. I'm like, okay, let me go right now to this space. I'll take the 3 points. I'm gonna let you go on this other one, which then get you 4 points. But I want to be in that spot. So I liked.
It was a good negotiation
It was
point.
cool.
Yeah.
And then, those were the biggest things, other than now it plays 7, 2-sided board, that kind of stuff, updates and looks and things. So those are the gameplay differences.
I found the theme.
Okay, tell me.
Where are you going?
Oh, boy.
Players are represented on the board by a group of politicians moving through a network of committees and need to seek support from their competitors to advance upward towards the Senate.
If you're thinking of negotiation and bribery, that's probably the proper theme, but this is a lot cuter in
fucking
the
Right.
zoo.
stupid.
And it was like early 90s,
Yeah.
that game.
Back when politics was a thing. Now no one even knows about politics.
Yeah.
these days.
Oh, yeah.
Argues about
Politics are very different these days.
So what did you think of Zoo Vadis?
This was a good game, however. I liked everything that you said about the game is that you liked about it. I like it as well. But the thing about the feelings is I have lots of them. So many feelings, and I don't like it when they're hurt.
Yeah.
And I think this is meant to be a cutthroat, nasty kind of a negotiation experience. Unlike something like Bonanza or Chinatown, where you're just trying to wheel and deal, this one you're trying to I need to make you think that I'm doing something good for both of us, when really I'm just going to fuck you over next turn if I can. I'm going to get this. I'm going to give you 5 points right there, but I'm going to get ahead on the island, even though I only get 1 point, and that looks so good for you. And you're like, yeah, I'll do it. But then what you don't know is now I'm going to do this and that and that, and now you're fucked. And that's gonna cause anyone that has childlike feelings like I do, because I'm not mature in any way, to just toss the table up in the air and just be like, fuck you. I keep thinking of Cameron in not my son, but in Modern Family, where he's like, I would not be a very inspirational disabled person. And I'm like that for maturity in games like this.
I feel like you liked this game.
I did like this
you were
game
good
because
at
we
it.
didn't really do that to each other. We didn't fuck each other.
I know.
When Jeff was like, just saying, if we could
saying,
do
listen.
this is what the game could do.
If we did that, you
I
probably
feel
would
like
have
that
been
wasn't like a real thing that was I feel like you weren't like, Natalie, here's what we should do. We should cut him out.
No.
I feel like you were like, this could happen.
But I was like, we can do this.
This is something that could have happened.
Yeah.
And so we didn't play the game as cutthroat as I feel like it's when he said
You're
that, I was
supposed
like,
to probably
they
play
should
that
be doing
way.
that.
Yeah.
Right.
That's probably in a
That's
normal, all
meant
things
to
equal,
happen.
that's what should happen, because it wasn't clear that I was winning otherwise. It wasn't. I think we decided after it was over, like, you might have had more points than me at that moment. But
in that
if you
moment,
want to
I
win,
knew that I had more points than Natalie, and I could cut you out.
yeah, then you win.
Or if if it wasn't Natalie sitting at that thing, if it was like a Bill or somebody
You'd
else,
been like, fuck yeah, let's do it.
all right, maybe I do lock
And
you out.
that would have angered me.
Yeah, you would have been like, that's
I would not have been
bullshit.
a very inspirational disabled person in that moment. I would have been angry, and it's the kind of butthurt. No, I don't like feeling butthurt ever. I hate that in game. So I don't think I will seek this out for that reason. However, as Jeff mentioned, there are just as many people like the Matthiases of the world who that's their favorite thing in the world, is to get a bunch of friends together and just fuck each other in the ass.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because everybody has to be playing the game. And it could be, if you can just at the end of the game brush it off and be like, that was
Oh,
fun.
yeah.
Right.
It could be amazing.
Could be great. It could be hilarious. But if you're working and
Someone's
working
gonna
and
get
working,
fucking
and then one or two people just get fucking cut out, and it's like,
Yeah.
that's funny.
Right.
It's like,
You're like,
oh my God.
I did better at you than this game, but I can't win because you just like,
Yeah.
we're like,
you
can't,
just moved two peacocks when I didn't even notice, and now I can't even get in there.
Right.
And holy shit, what the fuck? That's, yeah. I don't like that potentialness of it personally, but the design is really cool. I really liked the peacock mechanism. I wouldn't want to play the game without that. I thought that was awesome because the way that you found, like, oh, what if we move this peacock and that? Now he can't get in before his turn. Like that, there was part of me that was like, that's cool.
Yeah, it's
that's
new
kinda
possibilities.
Cool. Like, wow, that's kind of cool. And I really also liked the negotiating, especially early game, because nobody really knows who's doing anything in the early game. So it's like you're more likely to be like, okay,
plans haven't developed yet.
Yeah, so you don't know exactly what's going to happen.
Beginning stages.
And then it develops as the game goes on into a much more like focused negotiation where it's like, okay, clearly I'm trying to get here. You see that I'm trying to get here. So now I need to come up with a negotiation that's going to make it worth your while to let me get here. And that's a much different negotiation than early game where it's like, I kind of want to move. Do you want to give me your vote? And then let me move there. And then, maybe the next time it's your turn, I'll let you do that. Or here, use my power. And that negotiation feels different because there's not as much at stake yet. And that's a cool thing that designer Knizia does, where he has these moments that are not written into the rule set any differently. There's not rules that say, once the game gets to this point, you negotiate differently. Mm-hmm. It's just the way the negotiation kind of folds and takes shape happens because of the players at the table, how the game state is. And I think that he's the best designer that does stuff like that makes players play the players and not manipulate the rules the best.
Sure.
Right? So I think the game is really, really solid, really, really great. The components are incredible. If you at all like this type of game, personally, I say get it. I would fucking hate it. Natalie, what about you? What do you think?
Well, I thought the pieces were really cool and chunky.
Kind of like me.
Is that it?
Negotiation
What do you
games.
like about Ryan? Well, he's cool and chunky.
He's kind of cool and chunky.
Negotiation games are not my thing at all.
That's what you're going to declare?
That's what I declare. I don't know. You can't just move freely, like you said, kind of without negotiating. You have to do that. It's going to come up. And if you if you use that like little token that kind of lets you like move for free, if you're not in the majority, you're just helping somebody else because that's like one whole action, and then it's 2 more people's turn.
And you don't get any points when you cross over the zookeeper guy, which lets you move for free.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's ways to move without using people, but you got to play the game.
Yeah, and so basically, I'm too timid for this game. I don't like negotiation. It just locks me up. I get really like self-conscious. I don't know what to do, and I don't play the game. And so, like Jeff said, if you're going to play this game, you got to play the game. I'm not going to play the game.
It's easy to get steamrolled in a negotiation game if you're not prone to negotiate.
Yeah.
Someone like Jeff playing who's like, in his brain, he's just like, I got all the machinations to wheel and deal. I'm going to tell you, here's what I think you should do. And so it's hard for someone who doesn't negotiate well to just be like, oh okay. Yeah, sure.
Or even
that sounds fine. And then someone like me is like, no, what are you doing?
I was in the situation more where I needed something from you guys than the other way around, and I was like, I don't really know what to
how do I make this happen?
I don't even know like what to say to give. I feel like I'm just going to screw myself over by offering them something way too good. Like, I don't know. There's literally one negotiation game. It's not even that negotiation-y, but it has it in it that I like, and it's Bonanza. And for some reason, that game I always felt very like confident and good about.
You like beans.
That. But like, it's almost like I knew exactly what to do and what was good or what was not good or what I was willing, But any other negotiation game I played, I'm just kind of like, I feel like, I don't know.
Yeah. In this game, you have to put yourself in position so other people need you, which is a weird thing to do in these types. Like, I don't need to go there, but when I go there, both of them need my vote.
And luckily in this game, it's kind of easy to do that because the board is really tight and small.
Oh yeah, it's not very big.
So you're going to be in situations naturally where people are going to need to use you.
Right. And so, I mean, I kind of like you, I recognize this as like a good that type of game. It's just not my type of game.
Yeah, Vadis. It's on Kickstarter for a few more days. I'll have to look into it. You can message me if you listen to this in a week or so. I can find out if they're doing late pledges or something. But
you'll see on the Kickstarter. It'll usually say usually will say late pledge.
Yeah, so it's
check it out.
Yeah, check it out.
Mm-hmm.
What else you got? You got something else, right?
Got another one. Okay. Have you ever wondered to yourself what animal would win a bike race? Don't you just sit around at home wondering
every day
if animals rode bikes? If a red panda were on a bike,
it's not an animal.
Oh yeah, sorry,
it doesn't exist.
Who would win a bike race? Of course. So Velonimo finally solves this.
Finally, thank God.
Finally, and it's not necessarily the bike race, but you control an animal bike racing. I don't fucking know.
That's weird.
Okay, it's weird. So this game again is called Velonimo. Velonimo. Like Geronimo, but Velonimo.
Whoa.
Okay, 25th Century Games. puts this out. They're now must be distributing here in the States because this game has a 2020 tag on BGG, but is very clearly one of 25th Century's newer releases from their standpoint. So again, I don't know how some of this stuff works. So I don't know if they're the US distributor, if they picked it up anywhere else, whatever. It's designed by a dude that we all know, Bruno Cathala.
I know him.
Not personally.
He's one of your boys.
Yeah, but again, you see this tiny box trick-taking game about animal bikes.
You don't think Bruno Cathala?
You're not going to be like Bruno Cathala. So this is a very simple, straightforward, easy to learn ladder climbing game. Okay, quick difference between trick-taking and ladder climbing. Quick lesson. Trick-taking, players get one opportunity to play a card to the trick. The highest one wins. Games like The Crew, Euchre, Hearts, Spades, Skull King.
Trumpet.
There's usually a special card that is trump, and trick-taking games. Ladder climbing games, players sequentially play higher cards than the previous person until someone passes or can't play anything higher. Scout, Custom Heroes, Haggis, Velonimo. Ladder climbing.
Velonimo.
Did you like the quick little lesson?
That was nice.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Good. You're welcome, everyone.
I think there are ladder climbing games also sometimes called shedding games, or is that a different subgenre of the genre?
You're shedding your
We'll need
cards.
Plurpy. We'll need Plurpy to give us the definition there. He's
Yeah,
he's a expert on
Maybe he can
shedding.
debate it.
Yeah, and usually
Well, I
ladder
might not
climbing
need a
games,
debate.
you want to is it because you want to shed your cards?
Yeah, you're like shedding your cards.
Oh.
I've heard the term ladder climbing / shedding, but I don't know if that is if someone's just shedding all over their face, or I don't know if those are like
Gross.
both two
And-
different subgenres of a
Yeah.
trick taking thing, or if they're just the same term.
And a lot of these trick taking ladder climbing, they get lumped in with each other a lot of times because, in Custom Heroes, it's like, yeah, I'm ladder climbing, but I also at some point win the trick. But is it
Yeah.
called a trick? Because it's not. I don't care. Now,
Very similar.
the
but
goal
there is a distinction.
in these ladder climbing games and in Velomino is to shed your 11 cards.
Shed-
I didn't write shed down.
Oh, I'm like, oh,
that would have been sweet. It's to get rid of your cards in your hand, just like ladder
shedding
climbing
on my
games.
cards.
You can play a single card worth the value of the number on the card. You can play a set of numbers, which means you get the points for how many cards you play plus the lowest card. You can play a matching set of colors, again, worth the number of cards plus the lowest card. And then there are certain cards that have single high numbers on them.
Yep.
The only thing you can't do in this game, which you usually can do in ladder climbing games, is nobody gives a shit about a set. Sorry, a run.
No, the run.
Nobody gives a shit about
Yeah,
a run in
that's weird.
Velonimo. So animals apparently don't know how to count.
They're number blind.
They're number blind. So you play 5 rounds, and what kind of makes this game a little different is that you get 1 point in the first round for every person that you go out before.
Right.
2 in the second round, all the way up to the 5th round, where you would get 5 points for every person that you beat out. So you're not only playing, you beat off.
Right.
You not only try to beat yourself off, but everybody tries to then beat each other off.
Beat each other off. We're all
Until the
being-
last
yes.
person who didn't beat themselves off is last, and they don't get any points.
They don't, nope.
So the last person out gets no points, but everybody else is getting something.
Fucking conservative fuck.
And beat off. That's pretty cool.
God.
Beat off.
So here are my thoughts. There is nothing overly special about this game. Every one of these ladder climbing / trick taking games needs like a hook.
Yes.
Because if it doesn't, it's just euchre, right?
Yes.
It's euchre, it's hearts, it's spades. For example, the hook in the crew is like, don't fucking talk. And you're working together.
And
That's
it's
kinda neat.
cooperative, yeah.
Yeah.
Scout is like, hey, your cards can go up and down.
Right.
Back. Custom Heroes, you slide new shit in there. Haggis, I don't remember. But I did like Haggis.
Haggis is good.
And so this one has, I think the cool thing is the scoring. That's like the unique thing where the scoring changes, but it's really simple. And then if you play a 1, if you ever play a 1, you get to take a card out of someone's hand and then replace it possibly with a card in your hand, which could make
Sometimes
your card
that
better.
sucks.
That sucks, but it can also be...
It can be great. If you're
great.
doing it, it's great. If Natalie has 4 of them, she plays at once. That
Yeah,
sucks.
and then you just take all the cards and you're sort of making a better hand for yourself. So that's
You don't
at
even
least
remember doing
a little
that.
bit...
Oh, I remember.
That's a little bit of the pull of this game is it's kind of different. There's nothing wrong with the game. It's a fine to good ladder climbing game in my opinion, especially if you don't have one. Scout it can be very tough to find sometimes. Haggis is very difficult to find if it exists at all in
Yeah,
any
it's
places.
almost impossible.
So if you're looking for just like this is a straightforward ladder climbing game, this can be your game. Okay?
Yeah, certainly.
Scoring is simple. There is no like, oh, add up these total of cards, and then you divide it by this, and then you times the circumference of how circular the table are. There's nothing difficult about who's getting points and how you're scoring, and I like that a lot. I don't love games where I have to count, like I have to go through my cards to see what kind of... I love Skull King for a lot of different reasons, but the annoying part is, all right, I get these points. Now I have to look and see if I have a plus 10 in my pile. It just is like a little tedious. This is like, boom, Ryan's out first, you get 2 points.
Yeah.
Next round, Natalie's out, you get that. We had a situation where there was what I thought was like Ryan was sort of the runaway leader in this.
Yeah.
In the last round, I was mathematically eliminated.
Yep.
Natalie wasn't.
Natalie came back and won.
So why am I even playing in the last round? Does that happen often? I don't know. Is it more so with 3 because if I don't get any points in the first couple rounds, I'm kind of doomed. But if you win the last round, you get a ton of points. I don't know. So with more plays, I'll kind of see that. But this is a quick, easy game that I think is easy to get out, teach. Much easier than a game like Custom Heroes to get out, play, undo, but not as amazing in Custom Heroes. But anyway, Velonimo, what do you guys think?
I agree 100% with almost every single thing you said. This game doesn't really reinvent the wheel in the ladder climbing, shedding kind of genre. And I usually have, where Natalie has the world's worst memory when it comes to board games she's played, I usually have a really good memory. I can usually remember specific things about a lot of games I played. This one kind of is eluding me.
Really?
Yeah, I do remember things about it. I remember you playing all those ones and taking cards out of our hand.
Yeah.
I remember doing really well in the first few rounds. Like I went out first, I feel like
you
almost
even had
every
that plus
time.
10 thing, and you never even had to use it because you just kept winning.
But it doesn't stick out in my head as a game. Like when you were like, I'm going to talk about Velonimo today. In my head, I was like, what? I remember that, but what kind of game was that? It wasn't until just now you were like, oh yeah, the ladder. I was like, oh yeah, right, it was ladder climbing. And so it didn't stick in my head. And so I think Jeff hit the nail on the head when he said, there's got to be a hook for a game in this kind of genre to stand out. Because if there's not, the mechanism is so simple. It's been done 1,000 times. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just, I play a set of things higher than your set of things, and that's every one of them.
But it is a little different where it's like...
Well, I know. You let me finish. There is a hook here.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the hook in something like Custom Heroes is a lot greater to me, that it sticks in my head, and I'm like, oh yeah. Even something that I didn't like Cat in the Box, has that hook where the suits are not even defined, really. You define them, and that's cool. And I do worry that, like Jeff said, maybe there is a runaway leader issue in this, which was the big issue with Cat in the Box. That said, after Jeff explained it all, and I was like, oh yeah, I do remember enjoying it while we played it. Like all these are hard games not to enjoy.
Right.
If someone brings out, like Plurpy had that box of little ladder climbing games and trick taking games at Nerdfest
From all over the world.
I would have happily played every one of them.
The Epcot of card games.
Yeah, I like almost all of those games that I play.
Yeah.
Not Fox in the Forest, but almost all of those games that I play, I really seem to enjoy. But none of them do I enjoy so much that I constantly want to play them.
Right.
Yeah.
So they kind of, and this one is no different. It's not bad, but I don't think it'll ever reach a level of, man, I can't wait to put these all in a box and bring them to Nerdfest. You know?
Yeah.
So I thought it was good, not great, personally. What about you, Natalie?
It's funny now that you say that. I felt the same way. I'm like, Velonimo, what was that? And then as soon as I saw it, and I was like, I liked this game. But same as you, in general, I love those kinds of games.
Yep.
Every single one, I do like Fox in the Forest. You know, I like all that kind of game where you're like, whether you're winning tricks or you're, you know, trying to beat out other players.
I'll beat off.
and I mean, I agree. I think the worst part about this one might, even though the scoring is kind of unique, that might be the worst part because it kind of like may eliminate somebody, and then it's like, well, what's the fun in that towards the end if you're like not winning any of the rounds?
Yeah, that can feel bad.
But just the gameplay of like trying to just beat
Off.
somebody, you know, with your like cards. I don't know. That to me is just fun. I like it. So I liked this game a lot.
Once you remember,
I think that you're right. Like nothing, games like that, they're not gonna like stand out or be games that you want to play all the time. But I think there's like a specific time for these kind of games. Like all of these games are so great to me when you're in like more of a social setting.
yes,
You know, you're just like, I don't want to do anything too serious. I want to play a game, but still
It's a great
socialize
bar
in the middle
game,
of it.
take it to a restaurant.
Yeah,
It's a great-
exactly. And like while none of them like specifically stand out, I like all of them, and I would play any of them kind of thing. And and this fits right in with that. So I liked it.
Velonimo. 25th Century Games.
That's a good one.
Hey there, Gamecasters community. My name is Matt Cousineau, and I'm a huge Gamecasters fan myself. Ryan, Jeff, and Natalie were gracious enough to allow me a few moments to promote a game I've designed called Kyperium. Kyperium is set in the near future where our sun is dying and humanity's last hope is a newly discovered element in the Kuiper asteroid belt called Kyperium. Earth has sent 2 energy corporations to the Kuiper belt to build a shared space station, mine and research this new powerful element with the goal of saving humanity. In this head-to-head 2-player game, you will be playing cards into your tableau, but every card you play has a worker placement location that only your opponent can use. Play cards strategically, play workers carefully, push your luck, gain resources, sabotage your opponent, and race for control of the space station, Kyperium, and ultimately control of humanity. Kyperium is hitting Kickstarter in late February. For more information, head to dragonegggames.com/Kyperium. That's KUIPERIUM. And remember, in space, no one can hear you flip the table.
If you're looking to support the show, maybe consider flushing your money down the Gamecasters toilet by way of our Patreon page. There are 4 different tiers which will get you access to behind-the-scenes content, exclusive content, or content ahead of time. You will also get swag that nobody else has access to, and just the opportunity to help out and support a podcast which you sometimes listen to. We have amazing patrons. Thank you so much for your support, guys. If you'd like to donate to help us pay for things like hosting fees and that blank that Jeff's had his eye on, please head on over to patreon.com/The Gamecasters to help out. The Gamecasters Twitch account has relaunched, and we're live every Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday night, streaming board game and video game content and having a blast talking to all of you. If you just simply can't get enough Gamecasters in your day, please consider heading on over to twitch.tv/Gamecasters and give us a follow and maybe a sub. I have the best time streaming for everyone, and it's just a super fun place to unwind after a long day and watch someone who is trash at games play games. Come hang out and engage with me in a way you never thought you had to before, but I'm sorry, you do. Twitch.tv/Gamecasters. Possibly the best way to interact with all of us, though, is via our Discord server. If you go to the Gamecasters Instagram page, you can check out our link tree in our bio to get access to our server. It's a great way to engage with all 3 of us on a daily basis, as well as meet a bunch of like-minded, awesome people. So check out our Discord server. It's now everyone's favorite segment of the show where Jeff's all over us in this episode's Instagram inbox.
And now it's time for the Instagram inbox with the Mad Board Gamer.
Well. I do declare it's time to get Jeffed all over.
Jeff on me.
You get it?
Oh, I'm Jeffing.
You called me Jizz earlier.
I'm Jeffing.
You called me Jizz earlier.
I called him Jizz.
I don't remember
It's
that.
true.
You don't remember anything.
Okay, I took to the social media.
Okay.
I asked the question.
You declared.
I declared.
To the
What
people.
is something that you dread when learning or seeing or being taught a new game?
I like this. This
I'd
was
like
good.
you to repeat that in a John DeClaire
I can't.
accent.
I can't do it. That's like Foghorn Leghorn.
Yeah, it is. It's basically as Foghorn Leghorn.
Foghorn Leghorn. That's,
Well,
so,
what do you dread?
yeah, what do you dread hearing or seeing when learning a new game or being taught new games? I got some good answers.
I like this question.
So,
this is a good
too.
question.
if you have any, jump in.
I have
Two
one.
of
I
you,
sent-
not
I
our
sent- I sent
listeners.
one
They
in.
can yell, I guess.
What did you say?
He's gonna read it.
Oh, you sent it in. Okay.
Yeah.
I just said that. I
thought you said I said it already.
The symbols have to match, Natalie. When
Can the numbers?
But the numbers.
I just want
But the numbers.
Why
Can you
just get
the
a bunch of
fuck
twos?
Are the numbers
if I just
small
get
in the
twos?
top of the card?
what an easy game would be if you just line up all these twos. Where were you going to put that?
Oh, it
disc,
was
though,
easy for
Natalie?
me.
Yeah, where did you end up
Yeah, where
putting
was the disc gonna go?
It was
So you
the
had
top
three different
card.
symbols.
Oh, that's whatever the top one is.
Yeah, whatever the top
Just
one
choose
is.
whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah. Just,
Oh my god.
okay.
I'm a dumb.
Captain Pedantic.
All
Oh,
right.
I know him, Sean.
So, Sean hates when people start out with saying, like, this game is super easy.
Okay.
And then he also doesn't like when someone starts immediately comparing it to another game and saying like, oh, it's just like this mechanic in this other game that you've never heard of. Got it? So kind of like, oh, it's
Yeah.
like a deck building game like this or something like this. That bothers him. And could be something that could remove people from the table.
Or when you
right?
say it's
You're
super
like, I
easy
don't
and then they're
know.
like, well, now I feel dumb because I don't get it.
Yeah.
That's interesting because it seems like that phrase, this is super easy, is usually almost like a nervous thing that people say to people.
Yeah.
You know, when they're teaching them a game to like try to take the pressure off.
Yeah.
You know, so it's
To be like, don't
almost done.
worry.
Listen.
yeah, don't worry. This is going to
Yeah.
be easy.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. Just come along with me.
Yeah.
Sean also
Like at the
mentioned
same time?
that like in the last, if the teach goes really long, he's like the last 20 minutes, just everybody sounds like the Swedish chef, and then I have to go first. Is what he says. He's like, oh god, and then I have to go first. Yeah. And then he says something bothers him when he sees games. Where are the dual layer player boards? Fuck this game.
If you
he
can get
says.
one. Oh, so he's more aggressive. He takes
Yeah.
more of the player aid stance
Yeah,
on his
so
dual
he's
layer player boards.
angry about that. So Eric over on the Discord, Eric Farmer, not Eric's name.
dog-powered vehicle.
Dog-powered vehicle.
Okay.
When someone else is teaching the game, they take the shrink off the box and start reading directly from the rule book. It's absolutely terrifying.
no!
And
That's a big
the
no-no.
Get
worst.
up and go at that point.
Okay, this is
fuck
also
out.
one of my big problems when I play games with other people, where they teach the game and they go, "Oh, we have these 10 house rules."
No.
Stop it.
Jeff and I played a game of 8-Minute Empire, okay, at a convention where the guy had literally, listen to this, he had literally just fucking bought and unshrinked the game. He's reading the rule book. Now, this wasn't his, he wasn't reading the rule book while we were waiting for to play, right? We were just sitting down at
Yeah.
a table, and he's reading the rule book, and we're like, oh, you bought the new game, 8-Minute Empire that just came out, huh? And he's reading it, and he looks at me and Jeff, and he's like, yeah, but I'm going to house rule the coins.
Yeah, let's do
the
it.
coins,
We get more.
you only get like one coin in here. What's that about? We're going to give you more coins. And I'm like, you didn't even play this.
Like,
Yeah,
Fuck
you
is
don't know if
pretend.
that's like
Why do you think
necessary.
that it's not? Why would you even
a
think
douche.
that?
Like, come on.
I hated that
What a
fucking
douche.
guy. I'm just kidding. Motherfucker.
Eric also said when he's learning a game that the rulebook always uses he as the standard pronoun and term for the player.
Yeah.
That's going to come up a couple more times, actually. This goes double if the game came out in the last 5 years. He hates finding rules buried in the examples in the rulebook, which is a
Yes,
problem.
that is
and
a
has
problem.
happened before.
Uh-huh.
And then anything with like colorblind or not colorblind friendly stuff.
Yeah.
How is that not the gold standard to make sure your game is not colorblind uncolored? Wait, color is not your game isn't.
You want it to be colorblind friendly.
You want it to be friendly.
for
the
This is a friendly
You
game.
want it to be color and number
This is
blind
a friendly
friendly.
game.
This is
Yeah.
a friendly one.
Rookie says when the host open a new box, but also a pack of sleeves and said start sleeving the game.
What?
What?
I don't understand
Is that
where.
even a thing?
That would piss me off too.
yeah.
Like, no, do that on your own fucking time. You
Do that
fuck.
before.
Do it when you're
Nestor does not play long games, so
Yep.
one thing he dreads when he opens a rule book or learns a game or someone's teaching it to him is like a 2 or 3 hour play. He's like, I can't do that.
I understand
Yeah.
that.
So he says he's getting there. He says Castles of Burgundy has grown on him a little bit.
Okay.
So that's way to go, way to go.
Nestor, are you playing Castle of Burgundy on Board Game Arena with all the people
Yeah.
in the
Didn't
Discord?
he just post that he like played it?
I think he might be.
He
Why
posts,
isn't
like,
he
his
answering you? I
score or
just asked him.
something? I don't know.
Answer me, Nestor.
Swoozle, when learning a new game, hates that there is some sort of arbitrary order or contract cards that could randomly give someone points.
Yes.
When reading that,
Okay.
we don't like that either.
We
when
hate
you read
that.
and
Yeah.
go,
That's the worst.
Is this just going to give somebody
Right.
points?
We call that the
Takanoko.
the Takanoko effect.
And I've played a lot of good games recently that mitigate that somehow, whether it's like an action or you have to use something to get
Yeah.
those kind of things. So I like that. Swoozle also hates anything called an upkeep phase,
okay.
where you have to like, feed 27 of your workers, put one milk over here, take
I agree.
this over there,
That
put
does
that
suck.
there. I'm like, that's a good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
good
it's
thing.
never fun. It's always like fuck.
It's like work.
It's always
Yeah, I would never get.
It's
I
always a
never
bucket of suck.
in my head would go, man, I hate that. But in the moment, sometimes I'm like, all right, what's the upkeep phase again? And you have to like go through and kind of go.
Or you
through
like
this
forget
checklist
about
of
it and you're
stuff,
like,
I'm
oh
all right, that's a
shit, I
good-
don't have enough.
That was a good answer. When I read that, I was
Yeah.
not thinking that, and then in my head, I
Agreed
know
with
that I
it.
think that while I'm playing
Yeah.
some games. Peter over on Facebook hates that when he reads the rulebook and then can't find a good YouTube video of how to play or some tutorial or some.
A lot of
playthrough.
times
Yeah.
you need that to reinforce what you're reading because sometimes rule books just aren't written that well.
Or
Yeah.
people just don't learn as easy to just read.
Yeah, having both of
text.
those is good. So that's a good one.
Yeah. And then Osgore, who we've talked about, Thomas.
Yes.
Said that there's, again, he agrees with this. He's like, why doesn't Rodney Smith just make a video for everything?
Yeah.
Doesn't he
Why?
have limitless time and
Duh.
resources?
I don't understand. Why doesn't
Just
everyone
do
just...
it.
Right, exactly. Board games
Every
for rare
board game
diseases.
ever.
Hashtag
All right, Zach... How do we say Zach's name again?
Bowden.
Every time. He sent me a voice message once. I've said this before. He sent me a voice message on Instagram. on how to say it, and I was like,
Pronunciating his
forgot
name.
it?
well,
Was it
oh, yeah.
Tiletum?
Yeah, it was Tiletum. Tiletum.
Tiletum.
Anyway, Zach hates that in the rules it says for a 2-player game, see page something.
Yeah.
Especially for dummy players, which he hates dummy players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like...
Mostly, yeah.
So there's
mind
things
them
that...
all the time.
One thing that bothers me is when you set the game up, I don't like that at the end it says, here's what you change for 2 players.
Agreed.
I like when it says it in
Yes.
the setup.
Why doesn't it? If you're playing with 2 players, do this.
Yeah.
If you're playing, yeah.
And that should be in the 1, 2, 3 checklist normal instead of like you set it up, because sometimes people just open the box and they just start setting it up based on the picture.
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot
And
of
then-
times when you go to the back of the rule book, it's like, because it's like, look for the back of the rule at page 35 for the 2-player game. And so I do that. And it says, do the exact same thing as the regular setup, except add this. It's like, man, just fucking say
and
that.
It's like, okay, now I have to
earlier.
change something or I have to pull something
Yep.
out. Yeah. Nathan over on the Facebook page says hates time limits depending on the game. Something like racing and Clank. He's not 100% sure how he feels about that mechanism when reading those rule books, right? So again, the question is, what are you dreading when you're like, this is a timing game, or this is a game that could end shorter than what the experience he wanted out of it. He also he loves the theme of Arc Nova, but doesn't necessarily like the tracks intersecting. So what it makes me think that is that Nathan really likes a set number of rounds. Here's what you can do in that certain period of time. Do your best in 10 rounds, 12 rounds.
Yes.
Because both of those things that he hates seems like they're
You can't plan for
an
it.
indeterminate number of rounds.
And so you
kind of
just
go.
can't plan for it. It's stressful.
It ends when this certain thing happens.
Yes. So Jacob Smock over on Facebook, he is the dad of Devin's.
Okay.
He didn't
I was
know.
like,
we
who
talked
is
about
this?
him.
Yeah,
but
well, I know.
fucking
We have
do.
yet to hear it. So he says, any scoring, or rather the interpretation of how the designers meant the game to be scored. So I asked for an example of that. So he said they all played a game where they were close in the last round with 2 or more players or neck and neck. And then there was this like scoring all of a sudden at the end that came up that maybe wasn't taught to him, or like, oh, you got points for that instead of this. So I think that's partly like the teach. If someone kind of forgets to say something.
Yeah.
And that can be
Yeah,
a
it's a
pain
bummer.
in the butt. Matthias Gammon over there says, finding out it's co-op. Fuck that.
We made him play one with us.
Yeah.
He said finding out the fate is determined by dice roll is really annoying. Some luck elements are okay, but if it's solely luck, he's out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a
That's
good point.
annoying.
Yeah. Christy Frisk, who won't listen to this,
No shit.
says, what is she dreading about hearing a new game? She says, just the rules.
Just hearing
Just
the
rules in
just
I
general.
think there's a
knowing-
lot
yeah.
of people that are like that. They're just like,
fuck
can
rules,
we just play a game I already know?
rules. Yep.
That's so funny. I just got a message from Mrs. Measles the other day.
Yeah.
And she sent me like this meme or this like reel. And she's like, Kevin just sent me this and said it said it was me. And it was like something like when you have to learn new rules, or what you hear when you're learning new rules in board games. And it was just like, you know, like, yeah, it was just like a bunch of nonsense. And I was like, I know, I feel you. That's why I just want to play games I already know.
I get that.
But a lot of people
I go
feel that
back
way.
and forth. I feel like I ebb and flow, where I kink and unkink to like new and old games where,
Right.
you know, I play Tiletum or Tiletum.
Tiletum. Have you played that yet?
Like I play that and I'm like, what's new now? Like, let's get back. But when you play like a string of games that are just kind of okay, I'm like, let me go back to.
Yes. I think you're
the
right.
good.
Like, Tiletum did.
Haven't played it.
What's that one?
Tiletum was one where, like, I mean, I don't know. I agree. It's almost like as time passes, like I have a harder time with the rules. Like I'm like, I just don't want to sit here and listen to a bunch of like
That's
rules.
It's kind
But
of, it's actually kind of rude.
This guy just
It's a little rude there.
This person
It
that I
makes
know
it
that teaches me
better.
games.
It makes it better when the game turns out to be really fun. But like you said, that is a really good point. Like when you're playing a bunch of games that are like in a row, and then
Like,
you have to like sit
let me
through
just
the
play
rules
Trajan.
the whole
Yeah.
time. You're
wanna
just
play,
like,
this is
I
so
don't
much
want
better. I already know
to.
this game is good.
Yeah.
Better Half Reviews, I'm over on Instagram now. Better Half Reviews said something that I think is more annoying for anybody and has already been mentioned, that they don't know anything about this game. Let's just read the rulebook together at game night. That's fucking annoying.
Ugh.
Nah.
Again, the question, something you dread opening, seeing a new game. Allison doesn't like baggies and baggies and baggies and tons of components to sort.
Yeah, I understand that. Dreading that.
Yeah.
That's when I opened up to I don't know if anyone's going to say this. When I opened up Tiletum, have you heard of that game?
Oh,
I heard of Tiletum.
There's a
Is that the
Tiletum
same
game
thing?
that I'm
Those must be
interested in.
different games.
Yeah.
When I opened that up, there was like 800 million little things to punch out, and I was like,
And then I came downstairs
Then I
and was like,
gotta sort
I'll
them
help
and-
you. And he was like, no, I like doing it.
You're like, I'm watching
no,
bowling.
you're just saying
me
it
do
like
it.
I was asking you to help me.
Let me do it.
Let me do it.
Allison also says no pictures or diagrams in the rule book. So I agree.
Fuck
Yeah.
that.
And I also want, what I would like is in the setup thing, I want the entire picture of the game set up on a table. There are some rule books that have, and Tiletum is one of them, where it just says like, all right, put these things here, and it just shows you a little picture of the thing, which I think is great. Like, oh, put the people tile here, but like, where is that on the board?
Yeah.
Like, show
I
me
love
the
when
Yeah.
it's like
board.
it has
True.
like the whole thing, and then it has like A, put this out, and then an A corresponds to the main
Yeah.
picture, and you know.
I think there's a good way to do that. So I dread that also when they don't have stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Ben over on Instagram says he dreads that eye roll from Emily.
Let's play Clinic, and she's like,
The Arc Hammonk over on.
Oh yeah,
That's Steven.
I know that.
Yep. The name Lacerda. Dread.
yeah, that's funny. I
CP
don't, but I
Wilson.
can understand that because that's again
Yeah,
an hour and a
that's
half
heavy.
each.
Heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dreading with new games. The old. Let's just start. We'll play. We'll get it as we play.
Oh
Fuck that.
no.
That
How
happens.
can you even play a game like that?
People do that I feel like just don't get it.
They're just lazy.
Yeah.
or they're not super into board games because nobody that's into board games ever does that.
How are you going to start a game if you don't even know how to play it?
We'll figure it out. No, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. From CP Wilson's account, Caitlin says when the rule book or teacher only uses he pronouns, and
Yeah.
also when there is an angry white dude on the box, some dry ass Euro.
Yeah, I know.
Right. You look at a new game, you're like, oh god.
Yeah,
look
that's
at
not
that-
exciting.
that not exciting.
No, this
white
looks like
man.
a
She wants to see an angry black man on the box.
History
Colonizer.
textbook.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is, I don't know. I wouldn't think of this as being my annoyance, but so many people have said this. Maybe they continue to run into this all the time. Michiani Board Gamery, Shelly, again, says when someone just pulls out the rulebook and starts teaching it to you from the rulebook.
No, who
Why does this happen? This
that?
happens to people so much.
I know. No.
Bro.
That's like
the only
that's like
time that's
Board Games
okay
101.
is if
Don't
it's like
do that.
a tiny little like paragraph, and that's the rules. you
Sure,
know?
like sometimes I'll be like, hey, I want to read the scoring out loud to everyone. Like, here's the end game
or like a
scoring
little
condition, or
section
here's
or
how it
something
ends.
that you
But
can't
again, not to
memorize.
just,
yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Apparently this happens to people
I
a
can't
lot.
believe that happens.
Plurpy, when reading rulebooks, again, dread. What are we dreading when seeing a new game? Dummy players needed for 2-player games.
Okay.
I agree. I don't dread,
Yeah.
but
It
it's
depends
a little
on the
annoying.
game, I
Sometimes
guess.
they're great. Sometimes they're really good. I
Yeah.
feel a lot of times they are annoying. I agree though. It
My
is a
initial
dread. It is kind
reaction
of like,
is,
ah,
yeah.
damn.
My initial reaction is damn,
Yeah,
and then it's like, okay,
damn.
they did it.
Sometimes they
fine.
do it really well. Yeah.
Plurpy also doesn't like cards with small fonts, so as soon as you grab it, it's like, oh man, it's
100%.
tough to.
Oh, he's
Yeah, yeah.
getting
it's a
old.
dread.
Those eyes.
No, Natalie.
Oh man,
I went to visit.
God, that cackle. It doesn't matter how old you are. The fucking writing is small. The writing is tiny.
I went to
like the
visit-
numbers on the cards in Wildstyle.
well, Plurpy getting old.
I went to visit my grandma today, and my dad and my
talk about
grandma were
Plurpy and your
there,
grandma.
and they were both talking to me, and
Nana.
they were like, "Listen, if you're ever gonna buy an old person a book, you got to open it up and make sure the font is bigger and that the font is like very black and not like faded color because old people can't see all that stuff."
Yeah, but you're attributing
Now we
tiny
know.
font to. If you're young, you should be able to read like the bottom of the font on the
Yeah.
Willy Wonka fine print.
Listen, Plurpy's
Or else you're too
Plurpy's
old.
like, I don't like small font on cards, and Natalie goes, well,
You
neither
old
is my
son of a
grandma,
bitch.
you son of a bitch.
Yeah, God.
I wonder how
damn
old
it.
Plurpy is.
He's like our
Probably
age-ish.
85,
I think he's our
90.
I think
age.
Oh,
he's
wait.
our age.
But
too.
apparently,
my
according
age
to
or
you, his
your
eyes
age,
are the
or
age of
Jeff's
your
age.
grandma.
Yeah. Janelle doesn't like super long, 59-page, poorly worded rule books.
100%.
Oh yeah,
A
That
1,000
would
bits and
probably be
pieces. She
mine.
also hates.
Yeah.
She also hates terrible quality cardboard. So when you open up the box, you look at something new. You're like,
She's
Warped.
killing it. Those are great
Yeah.
ones. All three of those are fantastic.
Janelle's a genius.
Janelle also went the other way and said rules that are too short because it doesn't cover everything. that it
Oh, I
needs to.
hate when
She's-
it's like
she's
not
right.
clear.
Tapestry is a good example.
Yes.
She should just be doing this whole segment herself.
Rogue Trout Games says catch-up mechanisms and any
Love mustard mechanisms.
any points that are awarded. What'd you say?
I said what about mustard mechanisms. Natalie liked that one because she's drunk.
Yeah. Ketchup. I get it. Ketchup. Ketchup.
Ketchup.
Good one, babe.
Oh, good one, babe. Good one, babe.
Thank you.
Good one, babe. Match the
Fucking
symbols,
shit,
babe.
she's drunk. Dang it. I thought it was a genuine laugh.
It was.
Yeah.
She doesn't
It's
like-
a drunken laugh.
It's
But it's still a
like-
laugh.
yeah, catch up mechanisms.
Catch up mechanisms. Rogue Trout Games does not like dreads those in rule books.
Agreed.
Also, any points that seem to award things for that kind of break the theme. So he messaged me and gave me the example of Terraforming Mars, that there's these awards at the end of the game, and he says, in his opinion, that like breaks away from the theme, that you're not actually terraforming, you're like getting these bonus points, whatever.
Okay. That's hard for us three, I feel like, to identify with, but I know that is a thing. People
Yeah.
want integration.
Yeah.
Like big time.
So something Mr. Measles dreads when he opens up the rule book, a fucking timer. He says, fuck that.
Yeah, I made him buy kites. And
He doesn't
did-
like
did
timer
not
stuff.
want
Yep.
that.
So Emily, probably from the Date Night Dice account, not
Probably.
knowing Ben said the eye roll. So again, new game. She dreads everything, literally everything. I know, I'm the worst.
She does. She does not
what she
like learning
says.
new games.
No.
Ryan from the Gamecasters
That's me.
account said he hates multiple rule books, like a rule books, an appendix, a quick start guide, the history of the thing.
Yes.
And just one. Put
You agree
one
with this
rule
guy?
book.
Not really. I mean, what the fuck, whiny bitch? No,
they'll be
there's a
okay.
lot of times I'll open a game, and there's like 3 different rule books, and I'm like, which one do I? What?
Sometimes you have solo,
Like-
and there's like a solo.
that
and
is
then
okay
this.
at least
Yeah,
to
I
like
don't
get
mind
rid of.
that.
But when there's the rule book and there's like a quick start guide, I'm like, well, what, don't I still have to read the rule book?
Yeah.
Why would I just use the quick start guide? I need to
Yeah.
read the rule book to go to the games. Is there stuff that's in the quick start guide that I'm missing? Like what?
Yeah.
It's confusing. I'm always confused and a little bit exasperated, like exhausted. I mean. Like, just fucking put one rule book. Let me read the rules and I'll play the game.
Talk about
I
obsession.
don't need a
Why
fucking
don't you
quick
refer to
start
this
guide.
rule book. And then,
Yeah.
That's a shit. That's an interesting. rule book.
JB63 agrees that dummy players are a turn off, a dread they doesn't like seeing.
Okay.
The board welder just hates the rule book.
Yeah.
More specifically, though, when critical rule is in a caption or too small or isn't highlighted.
And why
things
does
like
that seems to happen more often than not?
Yeah.
It's because rulebook writers are usually the designers, I think, and they're assuming that you are in their head with them.
You need several sets of eyes.
You need somebody who is it's not their game to play the game, get the rules, and then write them.
Yeah.
Or even just read it and be like, this doesn't make sense. Fix it.
Yep. The McMeeples know how to video. I agree. I like that. It's not dread, but it's like, man, that would be so nice.
When there isn't a how-to
there isn't
video.
one, yeah.
Yeah, that does.
Yeah.
that
Sam
does
also
bother.
said when the BGG weight is higher than 3.8, that's a turn off, a dread when he pulls that up on BGG and is like, shit, this
Too
could be
heavy?
Heavy.
Just play an 8.
Yeah, just playing 8.
Don't play it.
Hastama on
Yeah,
Instagram.
don't play an 8.
When the guy doing the teaching is also reading the rule book.
Does this actually happen?
Wow,
I
so
guess
many
it
people say
does.
that.
Yeah, I guess. I guess so.
Don't read the fucking rule book ever. If
Read
you're
it ahead of
teaching the
time.
game, read it. Yeah.
You can refer to it for certain things, but don't,
but don't
read
teach
it.
from it.
Yeah.
No. Mason Pierce is not going to back Vadis because any sort of negotiation mechanism scares him off.
Okay.
Dreadful.
I feel ya. I'm with you there.
Yep.
As soon as Ryan's like, auction, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
like bananas.
Rush Monkey 87 Ando. Welcome back. We haven't-
Yeah,
haven't
where's
heard from
Ando
him in a
been?
while. He says anything that being published by, this is some German thing, Schwarzwerkraft Verlag. You want to read that one?
Schwarzwerkraft
Top left.
Top left. Schwarzwerkraft Verlag.
Yep, okay. So being published by that, in German, they fuck up translations and they're not good at it, apparently it says. Which I guess would be dreadful if the translation's bad or they miss some
Yeah,
rule.
then like,
Yeah.
you're like, how do you play this?
Heather Schwindeman hates just learning a new game.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
popular one.
Yep.
That's a popular
And
one.
then here's I'm going to end on this one. Bored to play. I dread seeing no player aid. What the fuck is wrong with people not putting player aid?
You haven't
How'd
played
you
Tiletum,
know?
Jeff, but there's no player aid in that.
In Tiletum, there is no fucking player aid either.
Is there a player aid in Tiletum?
No.
What?
Can you believe it?
I
they
don't
have that in
understand.
common.
Not providing a player aid. Joe, I am with you. Put a player aid in there.
I mean,
Can I tell you a theme I noticed? All people who don't like just learning rules in general are the girls.
really?
Yeah.
Was it like all the girls?
Heather,
Yeah, we're like-
Emily, Chrissy.
Yeah, they're like, learn
me.
more rules.
This is measles.
This is me.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny.
Yeah, so there's a lot of dread. Is there anything you dread when you open up
I don't learn a lot of rules, but I will say if it was like 30 pages long, I'd be like, this is going to be a while.
I'm also not
But if it was like 5 pages, I'll be like, okay, I can do this.
Sure.
I agree with, it might have been Janelle, and I think a couple people said this. When you open the box and there's just a fuck ton of shit.
A fuck ton of shit, yeah.
That
Shit ton of fuck.
it's
Yeah.
dreadful. When I opened Tiletum, Tiletum. I was like, oh my God, there's so much stuff to punch out. I was like, oh man, I was just bummed. I was a little bummed, and it was like, now I got to sort it. There's no baggies.
Right.
Really. So I had to I had to sort it all. And then, that is a dread for me when I open the box up and I see like 7 or 8 cardboard sheets.
It
it's
never
like,
stops the game for me good. That wasn't a question of like, what do you hate about
what do you dread
Just,
when you're
dreading,
learning?
Like, oh man.
Yeah.
Like, this,
you're about to start and you're like, oh, it's
a
like
long
this.
rule book is also I dread.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck. Multiple rule books. Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I dread. Wow, cool. That's a good inbox though.
Yeah.
Why don't you step inside? Come on, it's warm in there. You think you found some grass, but nope, it's pubic hair. You wonder why there's so much underwear. You stepped inside of Natalie's nook. Wait till I finger you.
Today
what happened?
Drunk.
Today on Natalie's Beatdown.
No!
Natalie's
God damn it, it's Natalie's nook.
That was Natalie's Nook segment. And we don't call it Natalie's Beatdown. We just call it the board game Beatdown.
She's fucking drunk, man.
I apologize for this next segment.
What happened to you?
Turn the computer off. Say that.
Deck building versus bag building.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. What is it?
What is it?
What is it?
You're memeing us
And
now.
go.
You're
Deck building is when you have a deck of cards that you're using for gameplay / actions. Throughout the game, you're adding more cards to your deck, hopefully better cards. And so each time you
You're gonna
pull
get laid
cards to
tonight.
use,
Great.
you'll have new and better cards come out.
I'll leave.
oh my god! What I need you to say? You need to take
A
video.
bag builder
Okay.
is essentially the same thing.
Do you use them for
except
gameplay?
Instead of deck of
Slash
cards, you
what?
pull tiles
Hey,
in a bag.
Just take it down a one notch.
No. I don't.
You're
think so.
like
Bring it up.
I don't know what you're
You either need to bring it down
like.
or
English
way
is
up.
not your first language. In the bag of Belda.
Because the words on her phone are moving around so much.
Yeah, they are.
Okay, yeah. So
Natalie's Beatdown.
bag builders is essentially the same thing as a deck builder, except instead of a deck of cards, you put tiles in a bag and randomly pull them out. You add more tiles throughout the game into your bag to increase the options.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you got it so far.
I think the main difference besides cards versus bag is
Oh boy.
with the deck builder,
man.
usually you're shuffling a deck and drawing 5 cards. This means that once the deck is shuffled,
Exactly.
Usually it's 5.
Yeah.
Right?
Not in a,
Usually you're shuffling the deck and draw 5
Well, the
cards.
three?
Also, did you know that you
5.
use the cards for gameplay?
usually
The cards are used for
that's the
gameplay.
case. You
Used for
agree.
snacking. You just eat some of them if you want. We'll throw them over there.
This means that once the deck is shuffled, whatever order the cards are in are the order they'll be drawn. But a bag builder is always a random pick from whatever's in your bag. That's a good point.
Okay.
I think.
Well, when you shuffle them, isn't that random? Isn't that the random element? When you shuffle the cards? Is that the same as putting
No, listen.
Wrong.
It's because like when
Yeah,
you're
okay.
doing the deck, you have a stack of cards,
Yep.
and so you're like draw from the top, and then you're
Isn't that
done
the
with
random-
those.
okay.
Then you draw some more, then you're done with those. But a bag builder, you usually draw from the bag and then put them all back, and you draw from that whole pool again. You know what I mean?
Do you?
Right? Yes, I think so. So not
Okay.
always, but yeah, like in Quacks
In Quacks, you do.
and
yeah. Orlean, you don't.
Orlean, they get like exhausted or something.
No, it's like in Orlean, you take some out and you put them on
that
there,
little thingy?
and then they can wait.
You have to wait.
Just wait.
Yeah,
until
well,
they're completed.
You know what? You
No,
can
you're
have
right,
your
though.
say later.
Okay, sorry. I'm with you.
Where am I?
Oh boy.
The order is determined by where your hand lands.
Oh, my hand.
What?
The turn.
Wait.
No.
What? The order is determined by where your
Or
In a bag builder.
is the term
A gag builder?
No,
She's
a bag
bag.
builder.
okay.
I'll give her that one. She's a
Okay.
bag. So
Thank
my in a bag builder, where my hand lands.
Is where the order
Instead
is.
of
Is
top of
the-
the deck, it's wherever your hand lands.
What is she talking about?
Oh,
Do you know? I don't
deck
get
builder
it.
No,
versus bag
sadly, yeah.
You do? All right, what does she mean?
So she
Sadly.
said,
does she mean?
"Listen, it's my turn." Now she's saying, "Okay, so
The order.
Hey, what's the next card you're gonna pick?
Yeah.
It's just on top.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Yeah.
What's the next tile you're gonna draw from your Orlean bag?
Wherever
it's
your
where my hand is. Wherever
when
my
your-
hand lands.
So your hand lands. You can't move your hand around. You gotta
and
stop.
then you grab
take
it,
it
and that's it. My
No, you
hand
gotta
lands.
fondle them a little bit. And then
Yeah, but you said where it lands.
Where your fingers land.
Your finger pads?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me continue.
We are off.
Maybe this
the
doesn't
rails.
equate too much of a difference because both are random, but to me it feels different. Man, I'm such a fucking dork.
You read that too.
So it would be
Wrote
it would
that
be
out.
almost the same to you if I instead of having a deck of cards, I just splayed my
Threw
cards
them everywhere.
and then I could just
wherever your
grab
hand
one.
lands.
Yeah,
no,
like,
you have to drop
this
your
one.
hand on
Close
the
your
pile.
eyes
Wherever it
and
lands,
pick.
you pick it
Okay.
up.
And that one.
Well, she
Yeah.
said you could fondle.
Some builders,
Okay.
some bag
yes,
builders,
yes.
like Quacks, have even more of a difference because the tile used in one round go all back in the bag at the end of the round. So you always are starting over with your full bag of tiles.
Mm-hmm.
Deck builders and a lot of bag builders have you keep used cards or tiles out in a discard pile. For
Okay.
example, in Wonderland's War, you keep used tiles out until a certain thing happens in the game that allows you to put them all back
Phew. In your bag.
in your bag.
Yeah.
Where your hand lands.
Do you have any thoughts?
Oh, do I?
What do you guys think of this?
And
Do
also,
I?
do you prefer one over the other? Or why? Do you like both?
Let me start with that.
Just start talking.
Let me start with that.
Yep,
Okay,
yep.
I prefer bag builders over deck builders, and the only reason is because of the inherent fun that it is for me to see wherever my hand lands,
Like,
which
Stick your
is the
hand
order.
into a satchel.
Especially
Sticking your
when
hand
they're,
into a
like,
bag and
into a
rattling
sack.
it around and
Yeah.
feeling all the tokens on your
Like this,
finger
like,
pads.
Putting your hand in a sack is fun.
It's fun. And then pulling it out to see what you might get feels more, and I think this might be what Natalie was trying to say, it does feel a little more random than just drawing the top card of a deck, or more exciting. Because you're like,
Exciting.
oh, what can I get? What can I get?
And you're
What can I
picking,
get?
like,
It's the
one
same
at a
thing. You're
time.
still like, the card, I don't know what it is. What can I get?
Yeah.
But it's a little more fun inherently, I think, to use a bag. So like if Quacks had, instead of those, if those were all cards, and you just shuffled a deck and drew from the deck each time to see what you would get, that wouldn't be as fun.
Wouldn't be
Yeah.
as fun.
I agree.
You know?
Yeah.
It's more fun making it in a bag. Orlean is great. It's so much fun, and I think most of the reason it's fun, like, okay, you know, the map part, that's cool. That's not the fun of the game though. The fun of the game though is pulling out the fucking tokens
And getting
Yeah.
more tokens.
and getting more
adding
tokens. Yeah, and
tokens.
right,
Yeah.
getting more stuff and pulling out and seeing if you
feel like-
get that thing that you get.
Maybe I'm wrong, but another difference, I feel like a lot of deck builders are kind of like fighting-ish games. Not like Ascension, you know, you're like,
Yeah, especially like
Attack
the
Ascension
or-
is,
Dominion,
Thunderstone
but, like,
is,
the OG.
Dominion you're not fighting, yeah.
yeah, that's true. Dominion, you're not.
Yeah, but I know what you mean.
I had
What would you have them?
Their phone upside down.
bag builder examples were
Bad
like
bag builder.
bag builders
shitty ones.
examples were
Yeah.
like Quacks, Orlean, Wonderland's War, Altiplano, even though I've never played it, and War Chest, and I've never played that. And then deck builders were like Dominion, Ascension, Legendary, Friday, Eminent Domain,
Ooh, Friday's
and
great.
Machikoro.
I like Friday, and then I
Emdo.
also like next Friday.
What about Friday after
Friday
next?
after
Friday
next.
the next. I like that one too.
Okay, yeah. I what do you think, Jeff? Why don't you speak for a while?
I'm fine.
Okay.
No, I like, so those are all, what I'm liking about deck builders, the last few that I've played that I've really enjoyed, Dune Imperium and Arnak have both taken that element into a game that has more to it than just
Yeah,
not like
that's not-
Dominion
that's
deck
not like
building,
its
right?
own thing.
So I'm liking
yeah.
some of the crossovers that use the deck building mechanic because I don't want to play Dominion anymore. Like, I'll play it. I also like Thunderstone for all just the complete like
Right.
randomness of the cards and the trying to find the combinations. Clank is also kind of a fun thing with the racing. Some games like Aeon's End have tried to add in something different with deck building. Like when you get cards, it goes on top of the deck.
Yeah.
Is it top of the deck?
Yeah. I think
Or
so.
oh, you don't shuffle your deck. That's what it is. It's not
you
top.
just flip it,
Arnak goes
right?
on top for certain things. The
Yeah.
cards you buy in Arnak go on top. This one, your discard matters because your discard pile when your draw pile's empty, you just flip your
you
discard
flip
pile
it
over. So how you discard is something to think about, which I think is another. That's again, you got to change something up a little bit, make it feel different.
What is happening? over there?
I have no idea. I like, I look at these games and I think, what are some of my favorite games? Like Arnak is one of my favorite games, but
Yeah.
so is Orleans, so is Quacks. But yeah, it is fun to stick your hand in a sack and
Putting
see
it
where
right
your
in that
fingers
satchel.
land.
Yeah, you have to stop when your hand lands.
Well, whenever
there.
your hand lands,
then
you pick it up
wherever it lands.
Yep, and that's what's random.
That's
Like it's determined.
building,
You
not
either
random.
flip over the top card, boring.
Yeah,
Or you
boring.
see where your hand lands.
flap, 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 flap. There it
You
is.
also
Where my
like
hand
bag
landed.
building better.
Well, I like if I'm talking about my favorite games. Like Orleans is one of my favorite games.
Yeah.
So does that mean I like bag building?
Like if
better?
you're like see a game that's like a deck builder, a game that's a bag builder,
Yes.
which one are you like
That's how I took the
gravitating
question.
Yeah, I
towards?
think-
I get more excited for.
I think I get more excited over a bag builder because maybe it's. I don't want to say it's newer because the game's been
No,
using
it
it
is
for a little
newer.
while, but it's newer. And when compared to a deck builder, someone said, "All right, deck building is cool. What if I throw all these cards in a bag? How could I make it something different?" Right?
Yeah.
And instead of splaying cards out, let's put stuff on tokens.
Does
or let's-
Hyperborea do the bag building too?
I think you've said that before.
might have
I
been
don't
one
know.
of the
I've never
older
played
ones
it.
that did it. But yeah, I think that's part of it though, Jeff, is that deck builders, they have, when Dominion came out and popularized that mechanism, it was all any designer and publisher could do to create the next
Yeah.
better one. And so that mechanism just kind of exploded and then became oversaturated, I think. And so it lost a lot of its appeal. And then when Clank came out, it kind of breathed life back into the genre. But before that, it was almost kind of overdone. I feel that way
Yeah.
a lot, right? So bag building, there's far less bag building games. And that also, I think, breathed a little bit of new life into the genre of deck build, because it's essentially kind of a deck builder as well. But I think it breathed new life into it, and it did it in it's just more exciting. It's a little more exciting, I think.
Yeah.
And so personally, whenever I see a bag building game, I get way more excited than when I see a game is a deck builder. Because the deck builder is like, okay, well, there's so many of those. Everything's a deck builder.
I do really like deck building, but I agree. I think I
deck
like
building's
bag
great.
building.
I like deck
I
building
think bag building too. There's no games that's like just plain bag building like there could be with like deck building. It's always like that's just a part of it.
Yeah.
Like there's the bag building element, and then you do all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Where like deck building could go either way.
Quacks is probably the
The
most pure.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
Because you're literally just pulling stuff from the bag, and then what
Buying
you pull,
stuff- adding
and
more
then
stuff to
buying,
your bag
buying and
and
pulling.
then
So
doing it
Yeah,
Quacks
the other
is probably the
examples
most
have
pure.
a lot more to it, but
Yeah,
Quacks is here's. But I think the fun is in Quacks. And Natalie said it with where their hand lands.
Wherever your hand lands.
I can stick my hand in the sack, and I can pick anything I want.
Yeah, wherever you want.
I
And then
can
it's
pick
the
any
worst
of them,
one.
and then you put your hand on
The three cherry
wherever your hand
bomb.
lands. Do you always take the first one? Maybe not. You shuffle it up, and you're like, "Is it this one?"
Well, it's different there
that
because
one?
you have a bag builder that's also push your luck. Where early on, you just pull out a certain number.
Yeah, but even when I pull
know.
them out, you're like, you pull them out, and you're like, "All right, I haven't got a knight yet." And you're
Yeah.
like, "Let me mix
it this one?
up or
Yeah,
something."
then I'll get
right.
it.
You don't get to
Yeah.
just go. Let me reshuffle my
Right.
right.
my deck. You just draw them up.
Feels
Yep.
like it's like less random, but it's not.
Yeah, you don't
really.
draw a card and then shuffle the deck again.
right, and you go, "Oh, I'm shuffling that."
That's an interesting mechanism.
stick
yeah.
my
Yeah,
hand
let me
in
stick
there.
my hand. I mean, wherever it lands, though.
Yeah,
is
where
I'll
my hand
fucking do
lands.
it. Okay, so did you get out of this what you were hoping? What you wanted?
Did
Sure.
your hand land in the right spot?
Okay.
for this?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Oh boy.
I already kind of told you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
Listen back to the
but
episode,
for today's
goddammit.
game of the episode,
Listen back to the episode, you stupid idiot. I already said what I
for
like.
today's game of the episode, seeing as it's episode 107, I figured I'd have you guys do a new game and guess 107 games that I'm preparing for months leading up to this episode. Nah, just kidding. Chugga, 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 chugga. That's right. Our buttholes are tight, and we are gonna play another rousing episode of the Association Station. I feel like it's been a while since we've done this. Probably only been an episode or two, and I am excited to get this going again. If you don't know the Association Station, I am going to say Constantinople, and Jeff's going to say
Istanbul.
Right. So I'm trying to get you to guess the name of a game by associating it in some way in my fucked up brain that will usually devolve into some sort of sexual innuendo.
All right.
Not always, but mostly. Okay.
Dicks and boobs.
Now, let's just pay attention to where the bell is and just take a look at the table.
I moved it to play a game.
About where this is and...
So, if you haven't heard this game before, this must be your first episode because we played all the fucking time. I'm going to read 10 of these. Jeff and Natalie are going to be the first to ding in and try to get the most points out of 10 games. Here we go.
Okay.
Number 1.
Okay.
Grandmother. Jeff.
For real?
Nana. Jeff was lightning. So, Natalie, your reflexes are going to be a lot dulled here with all this wine in your system.
Yeah, you can move
no,
closer.
I didn't say that. I just wanted you to be aware. All right. Okay, here we go.
Nana.
Number 2. Natalie says, thanks.
What? Is that number 2?
Actually, yeah. Or number 2 could also be this. I said, perfect. Thanks, man. Sorry if that's annoying. Jeff.
Last message.
Yes.
I was like,
It's where your hand lands. Do-do-do.
Today on Natalie's Beatdown.
and I'm like choking.
Yeah, I know. Number 3, vaginal Lego.
What?
Badge Lego.
Yep.
Badge Lego.
Vaginal Lego 1 by 1. Oh my god.
What number is this? This is 3.
This is number 3.
Vaginal Lego?
Badge Lego.
Vaginal Lego. And the hint is 1 by 1.
1 by 1?
Yeah.
God, why don't you repeat it again? Vaginal. 1 by 1.
Every time, like, what? Wait,
Vaginal?
what? It's what? What? Vaginal. Wait, 1 by 1? Number 3, vaginal Lego, 1 by 1. Number 4. Here you go. Number 4.
1 by 1.
Number 4. I can't. All right.
Do it.
All right. Thor's mom.
Oh my gosh.
Spread eagle on the bed.
Thor's mom.
What the?
Spread eagle on bed. Thor's mom. Do you know who Thor's mom is?
No.
It's got to be some.
What's her name?
I don't know.
No one knows Thor's mom.
I wouldn't have said his mom. Thor's mom.
Thor is a god.
Thor's mom spread eagle on the bed.
Who's just getting ready to get.
This is a good one, I think.
What the hell?
Okay, number 5. I only buy computers from one brand. I'm an shoulder bob hand movement.
What
I
happens?
only buy computers from one brand.
From one brand. One brand. Computers. I don't think the computers matters.
You might call me in
You might be
shoulder bob hand movement.
And
You might be. You know, this game goes better when you get some too.
one brand.
This is something. This is an easy one, probably.
I should have. No.
Number
You should have known.
6.
Okay. I missed 3 in a row.
Yeah.
How Natalie would describe my sexual advances.
Nat.
Natalie.
Barrage?
Whoa! Yes!
Really?
Barrage! Holy shit! Drunk Natalie's a crazy savant. We only played that once many moons ago. Yes, I have a sexual just barrage.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Well.
All right. Number 7.
The barrage line.
What women in Kansas City call their bikini line.
In Kansas City?
Yes.
Kansas City.
It's important.
1-1.
Why in Kansas City?
It's important.
It
There's a
is?
clue. What women in Kansas City call their bikini line.
Kansas City.
I can't think anything about
Bikini
what's
line.
unique about Kansas City.
They're in the Super Bowl. They have the Chiefs as a as a team.
Kansas City bikini line?
Okay. Number 8.
Wait,
Oh, you wanna guess? Okay.
what they call their bikini line?
Yes.
Their bikini line.
What women in Kansas City call their bikini line.
What's like that thing where like all the states
Brazilian.
are like, there's like 4 states.
No, that's not where. That's not.
Is that where Kansas City is?
No, Kansas City's in Missouri, not Kansas.
Bikini.
And that's Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado.
Right.
that
There
has
is a
okay.
Kansas City, Kansas, but
But this isn't the
Kansas City
it might be,
bikini
actually.
line.
It might be.
Like bikini line.
What women in Kansas City call their bikini line?
What would you even call a bikini line? Besides the bikini.
God, I love how mad she's
I
getting.
know. All right, number 8.
I have a
God,
guess
I
for
suck.
that one.
Travel pool hide and seek team.
Okay, hold on. Travel
What?
pool.
These are so hard.
Jeff,
Marco Polo.
The Voyages of Marco Polo.
Oh.
Very good.
Okay, well.
Got one.
phew.
Number 9. A stroke victim saying, "Take it to the walk-in."
Oh God, why'd you do that?
Do you know?
Wait.
Oh my God, Jeff.
Teotihuacan.
Yep.
Teotihuacan.
I got 0.
Yep. We're not done yet. And there's still some we haven't gotten.
Number 10. I'm better than you. You will literally never beat me.
You'll never be.
Literally never. Don't even try. You shouldn't even try. You'll never beat me. I'm better than you.
Ryan is better than us. He is.
We should play the game at the beginning.
He is.
When you're not
Before
drunk.
I get drinks.
It's better for Jeff.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm winning.
Wait,
All right, let me
say
go
it
back.
again. Say that last one.
I'm better than you. You will
better.
literally never beat me. Your
Never
clue is
beat off.
it's not Ryan James is not the perspective of the person saying this.
Someone's very arrogant and they're
I'm better than you.
You will literally never beat me. So don't even try. You shouldn't even try.
Don't even try, you vag.
You'll just feel really dumb.
You Thor's
Okay?
mom.
You'll feel dumb. I'll say that. So just do your thing. Don't worry about me because you'll never beat me. All right.
Wow.
What?
Let's go
You
back
did pretty poorly.
to number
I got
3.
0 for the first
Just
time
got what,
ever.
4 or 5?
Record.
Lego.
It's a
4
record.
to 0.
4 to 0.
Vaginal
Lego.
Vaginal
1 to
Lego.
1
1.
by 1.
1 by 1.
Thor's mom spread eagle on the bed. That's a good one, I think. I only buy computers from one brand. One brand of computers is the only kind I buy, so you might call me in.
Shit.
Enthusiasm.
A very loyal customer.
One brand is your clue
One brand.
of computers.
Of computers? Is the computer part relevant?
Of course.
Probably.
It's in the clue, so yes, it is relevant.
Like Dell?
Maybe it's owned by Dells. Probably.
Dell.
So one brand.
Farmer in the Dell.
Hi-ho.
So
Wait, you have 1.
I have 0.
No, you got Barrage.
Oh, yeah, you
Oh,
didn't give-
yeah.
Oh!
You didn't even give me
you didn't give yourself the point.
Wow.
I know we
I
suck.
only buy computers from one brand, so you might call me in.
I
Delaware.
don't know.
Hey.
You guys are
What happens
circling
when
it.
you
You're
buy
circling it.
Dell?
No, just something has Dell in it. So something Dell or Dell something.
I only buy one brand.
No, stop doing that. Just think of the Dell now. Just focus on Dell.
What has Dell in it?
That's the game. If I knew it, I would have answered
Dell.
it. Ding, ding,
Right.
ding, ding.
What women in Kansas City call their bikini line. Or, fine, if you're stuck on Kansas City, what women in California call their bikini line. Or what women in New
What does
Mexico
anyone call a
their
bikini
bikini
line?
Or what women in Arizona call their bikini line. All of those things kind of have something in common.
I was gonna say Port
Is it-
Royal because
is it
it's
something-
Royals in Kansas City.
Oh,
nice.
nice.
Is it
That's
something?
good.
What's the West?
Okay, there's only one of us here that has a bikini line, and it's you. So what is it?
Yes. No. Yes.
You guys are circling all of these answers. You're very close on
let
these.
us know.
Natalie.
Great Western Trail.
The Great Western Trail.
Okay, that was good.
baby.
Natalie, make
Nice.
a comeback. You
That's
win
right.
6-4. Get them all.
That's
Okay.
right. Okay.
One. So Dell. Something with Dell. Thor's mom spread eagle. What?
She's a whore.
That's my favorite one, I think. of this whole
Thor's
thing.
mom.
Thor's mom,
Why
spread
Thor?
eagle on the bed.
I don't know. Is it Nostradamus? What's that game
Oh,
called?
a superhero's mom. An Avenger's mom.
An Avengers mom.
Spread eagle.
On the bed.
Their wigs. Wigs.
Her wigs.
Her legs
Wigs.
wide open.
Her widow wigs are wide open.
wigs.
Her widow witty wigs.
Some spread eagle.
Vaginal wagos. One by one wagos.
Thor's mom. I don't know.
Yep. And then the last one you have is I'm better than you. You will literally never beat me. Don't even try.
Don't even try.
Trash.
Don't
Why would
try.
we even try?
Trash talk.
I think of the two of you, Jeff will get that one.
Oh.
Sorry.
Okay, trash talk.
I really thought you'd both get vaginal Lego one by one very quickly, but I was wrong.
Vaginal Lego.
Vaginal Lego.
One by
Now,
one.
Legos are blocks.
I know.
Okay, so something, but it's not mental blocks. Doesn't make any sense. Okay, so it's not that.
I know, but and the one by one thing.
Yeah, day by day, one by one.
All right, I will reveal these to you at the end of the episode. Okay.
What are you gonna do? Stay here for 4 hours?
So,
Yeah. Okay.
all right.
You're drunk.
For
You gotta have sex
today's
with
top
Ryan later.
5 of the episode, yes, we're going to do something we have not done since episode, I think, 43. We have not revisited our top 10 games of all time.
Wow.
So, holy cow.
Wow. Holy cow.
Since we do top 5s and not top 10s, we're going to give you numbers 10 through 6 this time, and then 5 through 1 in the next episode. What if we gave 5 to 1 this time, and then
Yeah.
said, come back next episode for
Here are
10 to
10
6?
favorite
The ones that are worse than that.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Without further ado, I think we're going to end with Jeff this time. So let's go me, Natalie, and Jeffrey. Okay? We'll end with some jizz.
Okie doke.
All right. So, number 10 for me, my 10th favorite game of all time. So I did Pub Meeple.
Yeah.
But here's what I did. I didn't just go through. I didn't want to get 100 games.
Well, because you would still be
Well,
doing it.
it would
and
take,
It would
like,
take
a million
forever.
days.
So what I did was I went through the list of every game I've ever played, and I just selected games that I thought could potentially make the top 10.
Okay.
And I came up with a
Makes
list
sense.
of about 30.
All right.
From that 30, I whittled them down to 10, and I'm pretty happy with the results.
Okay.
Although there is a lot of shifting around since the last time. All right, number 10.
like this.
Number 10 for me this time. I don't have the position they were before, but what that's
I know, me neither.
number 10 for me is Cosmic Encounter.
Wow. That's,
Oh.
At one time, it
Fall
was
from
number
grace.
1.
Yeah.
It's still in the top 10, which is
That's
crazy good.
right.
But,
It's saying something,
but number 10 for me, Cosmic Encounter. I love playing this whenever we play it. It hasn't hit the table as much lately. Natalie fucking hates it. But it's one of
I
my
had a
favorite games of all
bad
time,
play,
and it
you
is
know
still
that.
number 10.
Yeah.
Natalie,
When
what
we
about
played
you?
on your birthday, whew, that was rough.
That was a
Okay.
great play. Natalie, what about you?
I
What's
did
your
a
number
similar
10?
thing. But I put like 22
fun.
games into a Pub Meeple just to basically like my favorite games, but just it was hard for me to like actually put them in an order. So this helped me.
that's what that thing's about.
Yeah. And okay, my number 10 is Arc Nova.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah,
Ark
which
Nova.
obviously is newer on
is
my
newer,
list.
obviously.
And it's
Yeah.
a game that we love, and
Played it for the first time last year.
well,
Yeah.
we've played it a lot, and it's still a game that we're like itching to play all the time.
Yes.
Itching
I'm
and
itching
scratching.
like crazy. I got rashes all over my body for Ark
All over
Nova.
it.
Jeff, what about you, man? Number 10.
My number 10 is Obsession.
You're obsessed with it. Maybe.
Yeah.
Good one.
Played a few times.
Also
Loved
last
it.
year for the first time.
Yep.
Loved it so much. It's in your
Little
top
bit
10.
blows. Like it so much. It's in my top 10.
So is it on
I
the
would play it
shelf?
anytime. It is on the shelf.
It's gonna have to go on the shelf.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
in the bottom right. So it's there.
It's in the 10th spot.
It's in the 10th spot.
So you ordered them.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Number 9 for me, we just heard it a second ago from Natalie. It's Ark Nova. Ark Nova landed at number 9. I love the
Looky
fuck out of this
there.
game. I love it a lot.
You love to fuck it.
I do. I love the fuck in this game. The solo mode. I don't play solo. And I love playing this game solo. It is so much fun for me playing it that way. It's so much quicker.
Yeah, you've played this game a lot.
Like 26, 27 times. It's great. Natalie,
I'm trying to
number
look for this
9.
game.
Me too.
Where's some vag blocks at?
I know. My number 9 is Pulsar 2849.
Really?
Wow,
Very
that's
cool.
much
higher than I thought.
Yeah.
I know.
me too.
I haven't played in a while, but man, that's a great game.
We played it like 3 times back to back to back.
I know.
And I remember
loved it.
Yeah, it was
And
it's
then
really fun.
I think we played it. Yeah, it's a great game. Deserves to be my top 10.
and it is. Well
back.
deserved. Jeff, number 9.
All right, my number 9 has jumped back into the top 10. It is there because I played it recently and it jumped back. Number 9 is Homesteaders.
Oh, damn it.
Oh, snap.
Should have guessed that.
That game is
And you had a great play too.
so freaking good.
You know,
Underrated. Needs more
you've
attention.
loved that game for many a year. I was actually surprised it left the top 10.
Yeah, I think
Well, no, you haven't played it.
I
Out of sight,
got
out of
the
mind.
hotness,
Tons of other
right?
games. Of course, I get it.
I got caught
But I
up.
remember for a while, that was in the top 5 for
yeah.
you.
It's so
And
good.
so, yeah, I remember, or I was a little surprised.
You ever play that game?
Homesteaders?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played it a few times.
Yep,
couple
a few times. Number 8 for me is newest hotness and brand new member of the Gamecasters Essential, the Guild of Merchant Explorers, comes in at number 8. Again, the last 2 games were played last year for the first time, and they're in my top 10 now.
That's really good.
I don't have to say anything more about Guild of Merchant Explorers that we haven't already said, but man, do I love it.
Yeah,
Natalie, what
is
is
there
your
much?
number 8?
Right, really. My number 8 is Decorum.
Really?
We played the shit out of
Natalie,
this
this
game.
Play this shit out. This is
And if
crazy.
there,
This
as
list
soon
is
as
blowing
there's
my
more
mind.
Me
for
too.
2 players, I am in.
Wow. Okay. I agree.
It
I can't
we
wait
just
for
played
the
it
app.
over and over and over and over.
We
and
did.
It was fun. It's like a cool deduction game. It has little house stuff. It has
She
the
loves
cool,
deduction.
Yeah,
That's true.
It's fun. I
Awesome.
love it.
All right, Jeff, number 8.
Blowing my mind. My number 8 is Bitoku.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, I figured that would
That's
make an
great.
appearance at some place. I know you
That
loved
game's
that.
so fucking good too.
How many times have you played it? No.
Wow,
3?
3 or 4.
Yeah, 3 or 4. Wednesday, Tuesday?
Wednesday, Tuesday.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a big game.
Yeah,
It is a big game.
It was one I played like kind of back to back, and then I got at Nerdfest and picked it at game night. It just is. I don't know. For some reason, it just kind of clicked with me. I don't know. If
Yeah.
it's, again, it's dice kind of manipulation and
It's also beautiful.
yeah, like nonsensically beautiful.
It has got some weird artwork.
But still, it's
Those
cool.
little eyeball
Again,
tokens,
thanks for doing
those
something
are
different
weird.
and trying it because I could have been trading in the Mediterranean.
For sure.
But at least someone tried something different.
Very great.
Yeah.
All right, number 7 for me is a stroke victim saying, take it to the walk-in.
Oh my god.
That is
Wow,
that
that's in your
is
top
my
10.
number 7. What'd you say?
I said, wow, that's in your top 10.
And that's your number 1 T game.
It was. It's my number 1 T game.
There's
no more
So
T
you
game
know
now,
there's no
is
more
what
T
you now
games
know.
up there. It was, I think, number 9. I for some reason remember that it was number 9 the last time I did this list. So it moved up a couple spots. Yes,
Cool.
yes. Natalie, what about you? Number 7.
My number 7, this is going to shock you.
The last couple were kind of shocking.
It's
Yeah.
a game that I've only played twice and recently, and I really like it. And it's Witchstone.
That doesn't shock me.
Ooh,
That
that's-
doesn't shock
yeah,
me at all.
you've-
You have definitely gotten the female equivalent of a floner
Yeah.
playing
Been sucking off which
playing that game.
Yeah.
Good. It's a good one. It's fun.
It is really fun.
I want to see googly eye pasties.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Googly eyes on the nipples.
That does
That's
not
it.
sound
Pasties.
hot.
Just like, and you just
Pasties
shake
the
when
food. Pasties
yeah,
the-
no, pasties.
Oh.
Yeah, googly eyes.
Was that a clue for?
No, I just random thought. All right, Jeff, number 7.
My number 7 is The Lost Ruins of Arnak.
Cool, man.
Which I think would have left the top 10 if it wasn't for the expansion and adding the player powers and the
Right.
deep,
Where did that
close
land?
asymmetrical kind
I know.
of
For me,
yeah. Was that on?
that was my number 13.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Lost
where are you
Ruins
at?
of Arnak. You know what? I don't.
Is that an essential? We essential that?
Yeah, that's an
Essentialize
essential.
one?
That is
Oh,
an
yeah, I
essential.
thought so.
Yep, that is an essential. Number 12. Okay. For me, number 6.
Ooh.
We're on to number 6. Was my game of the year in 2021, and it's Hadrian's Wall has jumped up to
Nice.
number 6.
I thought that would be somewhere.
Yeah, I thought
on my
that'd be on
list.
there,
Yeah, I
too.
knew it'd be in there too.
You guys love that thing. Have you played it in a while?
Yeah, the last time I played it with Kyle. It's been a few months now.
Okay.
Yeah, a few
But-
months ago.
Yeah. All right, Natalie, what about you? Number 6.
My number 6 is Quacks of Quedlinburg.
Awesome.
I just freaking love that game.
You do. That's another essential.
Yeah, another essential. That's
Yep.
right.
I've had one on my list too, the Guild of Merchant Explorers.
Yes.
Yep, so we've all had an
And
essential
then
on
the
our
Arnak,
five.
yeah.
And Jeff, what about you, man? Number 6.
I'll put another essential on there. The Castles of Burgundy.
Nice.
Wonder why they're essential in our group.
Yeah,
wonder
interesting.
why. Yeah.
Castle of Burgundy, number 6.
Castle of Burgundy 6.
Wow.
It's slipped a little bit. I'm very excited about the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
I wonder
Oh
if
my
that's
gosh,
just gonna
I
like,
Probably
cannot
don't
wait
play it
for
as
that.
much and
yeah,
stuff.
that might make me want to play it more.
Castle of
Especially 'cause I
Burgundy
spent so much
for
fucking
me,
money on it.
I'm not going to tell you. I'll tell you. It came in number 22.
Whoa.
Low, I know.
Holy
you should
crap.
Game's above
May
it.
as well throw it away.
Wow, the game, the
throw
game's
that shit
above it,
away.
man.
Game
Personally,
sucks.
love
Just throw
it.
it away.
Holy shit! Well, I guess we don't need to. We shouldn't say any. We shouldn't say any more because we don't want to reveal
Yeah.
spoilers.
Yeah.
Right. So you will hear our top 5 favorite games of all time in episode 108 coming at you in a couple weeks. Do you guys
Yeah.
want to know or do you want to send these over to see if our listeners can figure them out? What do you want to do? You want me to give them to you?
Yeah, I think we give them. I think we learn them now.
You want to learn them now?
Yeah, give us hints.
Vaginal Lego, one by one, is how I described this episode. The rolling heights things.
Vaginal.
I said they were Lego one by ones, but they were loose, like a loosely pounded vag, so they didn't stick together right away. So rolling heights. What do you mean, meh? What? I said it
I
this
would never got
episode.
that.
Well, if you listen to me,
Well, I
maybe you
don't
would.
remember.
It should have been a memorable thing. I talked about a vaginal.
You talk about vaginal stuff every 5
loose
seconds.
Okay, you got a point. All right.
I'm gonna take a guess. Can I take a guess at this next one?
On Thor's mom,
mom?
spread eagle on the bed.
It's got to be a between two thing, right?
Okay.
Maybe not.
Two
I don't know. Go ahead.
castles.
A feast for Odin.
Oh, okay. No, that's a feast of Odin.
God,
Nice.
that's pretty good.
Right? I
That's
think
pretty
that's
good.
one.
That's pretty good.
Thor's mom spread eagle on the bed is a feast for Odin.
Oh my God, Ryan.
I'm better than you. You will literally never
What
beat
about
me.
Dell?
You guys should get that one. I'll say that for last. I'm better than you. You will literally never beat me. Sherlock Holmes consulting detective.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
God damn it, Sherlock.
Fucking Sherlock.
Stupid Sherlock.
Has anyone ever beat him
Sherlock.
ever?
No.
I only buy computers from one brand. Some might say I'm an Everdell.
Oh my.
Everdell.
Everdell.
Well, we had Dell, right?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
You did. When you got Dell, you're like, what game has
Yeah, what
Dell in
game
it?
had Dell in it?
I'll bet you Sam's going to text me and be like, I'm
I
screaming
know.
into the car.
Yeah, Everdell.
Just wanted to let other people in the car
Yeah.
feel like.
People in the car.
We were
scream.
just making
Yeah.
you guys feel smart.
Jeff
they're not drinking
wins
wine.
5-2.
I think 4.
4-2.
I got 2? Wow.
You got Barrage and you got Great Western Trail.
Great Western
Oh,
You didn't understand why, but you did.
You got it.
I understood why.
Oh, okay. You said it like you didn't.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't know.
I was
the
nervous
Great
to be
Western
wrong,
Trail.
and then I couldn't.
No, that's what
guess.
women in bikini in Kansas City call their
Yeah.
bikini line because the
Because when you
game
said
takes
the other
place
states, I was like, okay, it's got to be something with like
out
that
west.
side of the.
Well, the Great Western Trail, you're going to Kansas City. That was why
Don't
Kansas
remember
City was
that.
in there.
Don't know where I'm going.
You haven't played
know.
it.
he hasn't
It
even
comes
played
up a
it.
few
Oh
times.
shit! I forgot you haven't.
That's right. I
played
know it exists. I still
it.
should.
No, but still.
I'm like we're like red pandas. Like I knew Great Western Trail was a game.
What about Canadian bowling? You ever heard of that?
I have. Yeah. Yeah.
Candlepin,
Well, that's
Canadian
because you're a
bowling,
bowling
and Red Pandas?
coach.
Yep. But you're
No,
also a person
I'm not a bowling
who never
coach. I
heard of
heard.
Red
Yeah, you're a
Panda.
person who exists in the world, Natalie.
Well, I have
No.
now.
Yep.
What else has? I wonder what else we're gonna find out in the future. Natalie has never heard of before.
Probably a
Yeah.
ton of things.
Yeah, but not like microorganisms or something. Like oh, did you know this fungus growth? Yeah, we all
No,
know
nobody
that,
knows
but, like,
that. But she's gonna be like, we'll just be like, she'll be like, oh, Gala apples. What is that? Granny Smith apples.
Shut up.
Have you
I've
guys
never
ever
seen that
had
before.
like a ciabatta bread?
Yeah, yeah. A ciabatta bread.
ciabatta.
The ciabatta bread is so delicious. They make muffins miniature, and they're called mini muffins.
Miniature muffins.
I just heard about this.
Top of the muffin to you.
Top of the muffin to you.
You ever wonder what
Well,
happens to the hole
declare.
in the donuts? They have a thing called donut holes.
They have holes.
Holes.
Donuts.
Folios. So that's going to do it for us tonight, everybody. If you'd like to get a hold of us, you can find us on Instagram at Gamecasters or at Mad Board Gamer. Both of those accounts service the podcast. We also have a Facebook group. Just search Gamecasters and you'll find us there. You can also email us at thegamecasterspodcast@gmail.com. If you like the show, we'd love it if you consider giving us a rating on Apple Podcasts or anywhere else you listen that allows you to rate us. We've also got a Patreon. If you want to support the show, feel free to head on over to patreon.com/thegamecasters. There's also a merch store where you can find all sorts of different Gamecasters, Mad Board Gamer, Gateway gear. So head on over to thegatewaynetwork.com/store. Please follow me and consider subscribing on Twitch at twitch.tv/Gamecasters. So for Natalie and Jeff the Mad Board Gamer, I'm Ryan, and you have been listening to The Gamecasters. Good night, everybody.